Hokage I can fully level up with one click. Chapter 1-20. Chapter 1 1-click full level system. The border between the land of fire and the land of thunder. The hidden cave. Konoha ninjas gathered here more or less injured. Everyone's face was ashen. Damn Kumogakure, shot when we fought Iwagakure, Sunagakure. Our current strength is only 29, and the opponent has at least 100 people, and the leader of the team is the rumored AB combination in Kumogakure. That's Raikage's alternate in Kumogakure, and Killer Bee Jinchuriki column force. If we don't retreat now, once a circle of encirclement is formed, I'm afraid we will surely die. Konoha ninja in the field was in a hurry. The Third Ninja War started with the disappearance of 3 generations of Kazekage, and Iwagakure took the opportunity to break through the defense line of Kanekun Bridge and attacked Konoha. The Land of Water attacked violently, leaving Konoha to open up 3 battlefields on his own. I thought that the stable rear, but Kumogakure was also unable to hold back, and sent an elite roundabout attack. For a time, Konoha could only forcibly assign personnel and open the 4th battlefield. However, in the face of Kumogakure, the ninja team they had assembled everywhere was obviously powerless. The battle with the vanguard troops has already damaged most of them. Now the enemy deliberately disseminates the intelligence of the AB combination, that is, intends to subdue the soldiers without fighting. The requested support has not been answered yet. There's already an answer, and it was Lord Yellow Flash Namikaze Minato who came in person. Ms. Minato, didn't he fight at Kikyoyama? I'm afraid Kumogakure will arrive, and Mr. Minato won't be able to arrive yet. The excitement on everyone's faces dissipated in an instant. Namikaze Minato's reputation in the Third Ninja World War is far-reaching, and he is even more famous. It's a pity that far water can't put out near fire. It's probably very difficult for them to keep this pass alone. According to the speed of Kumogakure, they will arrive in 3 days. We are not Kumogakure's opponents with the combat strength of individual soldiers. If we count the AB combination, we will definitely lose. A Konoha ninja couldn't hold back airway. The voice fell, and the eyes in the field were locked on the 2 men who took the lead. This time, the coordinator of the 4th battlefield, led by the 2 Jonin dispatched by the routes of Danzo. They are Aburame Route and Yamanaka Wind, respectively. Look at the situation of the wounded first. If it is too serious, we will give up all, Yamanaka said in a deep voice. This time, if the members of the Uchiha family assigned to our team are Shisui, then we probably don't have to retreat. Then Uchiha Chinyu, his luck is too bad. As soon as he entered the battlefield, he was directly detonated by the rune formation and was seriously injured. I heard that his Sharingan is still Tomo. The noisy discussion came from the entrance of the cave. Chinyu, who was about 14 or 15 years old, opened his eyes in confusion. Looking at the wounded lying beside him, he couldn't help but be stunned. Damn it, why did you really pass through? It also crossed into Uchiha, who was also exterminated sooner or later, and this seems to be the battlefield of the Third Ninja War. Chinyu was stunned, and the crazy combination of memories in his mind made him feel inexplicable confusion. The beginning is a life and death battle. Doesn't this send him on the road to death? Moreover, the conversation just now seems to be planning to give up the wounded and retreat. Then he might have really become a cannon fodder. Damn, I won't be the fastest person to die in the crossing army. It's not my style to give away people at the beginning. Ding dang, the one-click full-level plugin is successfully activated, can you use it immediately? Plugin, one-click full-level. Chinyu was stunned. This happiness came so suddenly. Do not. It should be said that the golden finger is the standard of the crossing army, and it is too timely now. Enable one-key full-level plugin. Chinyu ordered quickly. Ding dong, congratulations on the successful activation of the host, and the database is being built. Host, Uchiha Chinyu. Ninja Level, Chunin. Ninjutsu, Kaden Fire Style Grand Fireball, Kaden Fire Style Dragon Flame Jutsu, Shadow Clone, Instant Jutsu, Single Tomo Sharingan. Looking at this simple attribute panel, Chinyu finally knew why the people outside looked disdainful. The Uchiha family is full of talented people. Putting this kind of strength in it is completely a hindrance. The scan is complete. Does the host immediately use one key to reach the full level? Use it immediately. Chinyu hurriedly issued an order. Ding! Sharingan is full. Open Mangekyo Sharingan successfully. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the hidden ability, Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi, Susanoo. Ding! Great Fireball Jutsu is maxed out. Ding! Dragon Flame Jutsu is full. Ding! The Instant Body Technique is at full level. Ding! The Shadow Clone Technique is at full level, and multiple Shadow Clones are activated. Ding! Multiple Shadow Clone max levels. A series of system sounds flashed in my mind. Seeing this scene, Chinyu was a little stunned. This means that any ninjutsu that Chinyu comes into contact with can instantly reach full level. Whether it's Susanoo, or Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu, it's a big killer move in seconds. Others have worked hard for decades and spent countless efforts to achieve achievements. When they come to me, they can reach full level with one click. This is really cool. Chinyu felt the huge pupil power emerging from his eyes, and couldn't help but smile. Chinyu, don't move around. The wound on your body has just healed. If it opens again, it will be bad. Shizune with black hair appeared in Chinyu's field of vision. She is the only medical ninja in the entire team. In this battle, death may be a relief, but living is a sin. At least, looking at Shizune's hot sweat and pale face, it is obvious that the chakra and physical strength are too much. Seeing the medical chakra lit up again in her hand, Chinyu reached out and stopped it. Don't worry, my body is already in good condition. You still need to rest for a day or two. If you continue, I'm worried that you will use up too much energy and pass out of a coma. Chinyu advised. Shizune shook his head stubbornly, bit Yuhi's lips and said, Master Tsunade said that medical ninjas are the last guardians of life on the battlefield. If even I give up, then they will also be abandoned. I'm not reconciled. If I can be as powerful as Master Tsunade, and summon Master Slug to help everyone heal, they won't have to be abandoned. My parents have died in this war and I don't want those who are waiting for their parents to be as disappointed as I am. I don't want to. They are still alive, why should they be abandoned? I'm not reconciled. I'm obviously a medical ninja, but I can't do anything right now. Hot tears shattered on the back of his hand with a slight sob. Forcibly pursed lips, full of unwilling grievances. Or, this is the unwillingness of the doctor. Chapter 2 shows you what despair is. Chinyu, what do you think I should do? Shizune raised his head hesitantly, tears already crawling. Now, she is not like an experienced medical ninja at all, instead she feels like a child who is at a loss. You've done enough. Chinyu got up and gently wiped Shizune's tears. Let me handle this matter. Feeling the warmth of his palm, Shizune couldn't help but startled. On weekdays, Uchiha Chinyu was a shy, or rather low self-esteem teenager. Now, the feeling to her is completely different. Those hawk-like eyes gave her an inexplicable sense of security. However, when he thought of the intimacy now, with a little ignorance, Shizune's cheeks slightly lowered, and he quickly changed the subject. They are seriously injured, how will they be rescued next? Unless it is transported back to Konoha, or there are more medical ninjas to support, but they are now discussing a retreat and abandoning the wounded. Don't worry, with me here, they won't be abandoned. This war will come to an end. Let's go home together. Chinyu loosened his body and stood up. Under Shizune's bewildered look, he gave a shudder to his eyebrows and walked out. Disgusting. Shizune rubbed his forehead subconsciously, but found that the tone of his speech seemed a little strange, and his cheeks couldn't help but turn red. At the entrance of the cave, the battle meeting continued. As soon as Chinyu approached, he heard the final decision. Now, in the name of the captain, I propose to immediately abandon the wounded and withdraw. Please raise your hand if you are willing. Yamanaka said suddenly. Aburame on the side took the root and raised his hand to echo, I do. The transportation of the wounded and the treatment along the way will slow down the retreat of the large army, so it is appropriate to abandon the wounded. I hope you will consider it carefully, and don't forget how Konoha White Fang ended up. As soon as these words fell, the expressions of everyone in the field changed drastically. The death of Konoha White Fang Hatake Sakumo was a huge loss for Konoha Shinobi Village. It is a pity that his death was spurned by the vast majority of people. People are selfish, they just focus on the results, but what they sacrifice in the process. Now that Aburame took the root of these words, it was obvious that their choice was driven to a dead end. There is no need to choose, we are different from Gen, we will not give up teammates casually. Chinyu said lightly. It's Uchiha Chinyu, isn't his injury very serious, he woke up so soon. Many people were shocked. They still had lingering fears when they thought of Chinyu, who was rescued from the detonating rune, covered in blood. Aburame Togen and Yamanaka Kase couldn't help but sank. Whether they are in the roots or in the Konoha, they are considered little geniuses. When have they been publicly questioned and publicly opposed their decisions? Moreover, the thought instilled in the root is that everything can be easily given up for the sake of victory. Chinyu, you are just a chunin, you are not qualified to participate in this decision, hurry up and step aside for me. Yamanaka shouted in a deep voice. If there is another time when you speak indiscriminately to deceive people, then don't blame our military law for handling it. As soon as these words came out, the expressions of everyone in the field changed drastically, and they all looked at Chinyu, who was completely different from the usual shy and inferior. Intuition tells them that this Chinyu may have fooled his brain and dare to contradict those who are rooted. Uchiha Chinyu, you dare to ignore the captain's orders, you are courting death. Yamanaka shouted angrily. Let everyone's face change involuntarily. Aburame also said coldly, don't forget, we are facing hundreds of Kumogakure and AB groups. This is a world where the strong eat the weak. You, a weakling who can't even reach Jonin, have no right to speak. I'll give you 2 chances now, the first is to shut up and get out of the way. Second, die. The awe-inspiring words changed the expressions of everyone in the field. Chinyu, come back soon. Shizune rushed out and said in a hurry, I'm sorry everyone, Chinyu's consciousness is still not clear. Shizune, leave this matter to me. Chinyu interrupted, looking up at Aburame and saying, then you mean that companions can kill each other? Can I kill you too? A small voice swept through the cave, causing everyone's expressions to change drastically. This is completely different from Chinyu, who has always been timid and fearful in their acquaintance. HMPH, what of Uchiha Chinyu, we have known for a long time that your family is about to move, but you are too naive. With your strength, you even threatened to kill me. Aburame laughed disdainfully. HMPH, a chunin trash who has no strength at all, originally obediently stayed by the side, we might even take you away, but now it seems to be spared. Yamanaka said coldly, the following crime, blatantly disobeying the captain's order, we have the right to kill you. Weak people should hide in the corner and shiver. Xiaosha's energy was locked on Chinyu's body at once. Everyone present clearly knew that as long as Chinyu had the slightest movement, the thunder-killing move would be waiting for him. Yamanaka wind, we are companions, don't go too far. A Jonin with purple hair stood out from the crowd. In this situation, you should calm down and discuss, and then there will be a solution. HMPH, Azuki, I advise you not to meddle in your own business. This time the mission is entirely our responsibility. This kid is so weak, he has already dragged his feet, and now he is blatantly disobeying the order. We have the right to kill him. Do you mean that you can kill people with strength? That's good, let you see what despair is. Chin-Yu laughed playfully. The blood in the pupil was like a tide, instantly occupying the entire pupil. The next moment, the 9 tomo practiced into one. The turbulent pupil power, like a hurricane, centered on Chin-Yu, exploded instantly. A head of black hair moves without wind, and the blood-colored pupil power makes people feel a kind of throbbing. What kind of eyes are these? Uchiha Chin-Yu, isn't it a single hook Sharingan? Now it's 1, 2, 3, 9 tomo. What the hell is going on? Among the Uchiha clan, the 3 tomo are already very powerful, and the 9 tomo. The powerful pupil force suppresses, and the blood-colored 9 tomo Mangekyo Sharingan. The expressions of the people in the cave changed drastically. The Uchiha clan is a famous family in the ninja world. The evolution model of Sharingan has already been figured out. Single tomo, double tomo, triple tomo. This is the most common change. It can be said that the Mangekyo Sharingan is known to very few people even within the Uchiha clan. Not to mention, people who awakened by chance. However, none of this matters. The most important thing is that they feel like a disaster from the oppression of this powerful pupil force. Chapter 3 Susano_. How is this possible? Isn't he Chunin trash? How can he open the legendary Mangekyo? Abarame's expression changed suddenly. He and Yamanaka K's, as Danzo's henchmen, are also the top fighters. Of course, he knows a thing or two about the secrets of the Uchiha family. The pair in front of me, Sharingan, who is out of common sense, is the only explanation. Wind, Abarame and Yamanaka couldn't help but look at each other. Go. The art of turning hearts. The Yamanaka wind was the first to burst, and he pressed his hands in the air to directly perform the secret technique of the Yamanaka family. At the same time, Abarame took a piece of his mouth to agitate, and opened his mouth to spit out a black mist. Secret art, poison dust art. The violent scene shook everyone's nerves. Shizune's face changed, and he shouted in a hurry, Chin-Yu, be careful, this black mist is a nano-level poisonous insect. Once it is ingested in the body, it will definitely die. Don't worry, Chin-Yu suddenly raised his head, and 9 tomo Rinnegan turned frantically. The chakra, which was filled with the smell of disaster, was like a frenzy in the next moment, and rolled back towards Chin-Yu's body. Boy, you are too big, as long as the poisonous dust is 1 meter away from you. Abarame couldn't help but stop smiling. Stopped by the invisible aura of Yuhi, 3 feet away from Chin-Yu. The next moment, the pupil power, which was rolling in the sky, turned into a terrifying skeleton. The originally small cave was directly filled up. A pair of eyes beating with blood-colored flames exudes a fascinating taste. PFF'd. The poisonous insects attacked, and they were instantly burnt out by the flames. Turned into a piece of dust scattered on the ground. Say no to Susano. Looking at the terrifying skeleton, the blood-colored energy ribs, and the jumping flames in the deep-set eyes. Just looking at it makes one feel a chill down the spine. No way, you are clearly controlled by the wind's secret technique. Abarame's expression changed suddenly. Not only because of the Susano that Chin-Yu showed, but also because of his and Yamanaka's unfavorable combined ultimate move. I don't know how it was broken. Haha, have you forgotten that our Uchiha family is best at demonic illusion besides Kaden, fire style? Chin-Yu sneered. What? Abarame's expression changed suddenly, and he hurriedly moved, only to find that his whole body seemed to be restricted by invisible shackles. My body can't move, when did you put demonic illusion on me? What's the matter, are you afraid now? Chinyu sneered. It's too late. Roar. Susanoo let out a roar, and his right hand, which was bony protruding, slapped the two of them like lightning. No. Since you want me to die, then you should die too. Aburame took root with a ferocious face. Unlike Yamanaka K's, his body was restricted, but he was still able to give orders to the bad bugs. Secret technique, insect explosion technique. The poisonous insects all over the body instantly became restless, and I saw Aburame quickly bulging on the surface of his body. Boom. The poisonous insect detonated instantly, a powerful air wave swept away, and the dark green poisonous gas dispersed with the wind. Everyone, be careful, don't breathe these poisonous gas, Shizune exclaimed. But soon I saw that the whole world was turning, and I woke up. They are still in the cave. However, this time, there was no trace of battle in the cave, and there was an explosion of poisonous insects. Chinyu in a hurry, he found that Aburame and Yamanaka were kneeling on the ground and giggling like dementia. This weird look is obviously still deep in demonic illusion. What is demonic illusion? It can control all of us in an instant. The battle just now was an illusion. The two Jonins were pulled into the illusion without knowing it, and there is no way to get out of it now, which is too terrifying. People with sharp eyes can see the clue in an instant. However, seeing Yamanaka K's and Aburame taking their roots with a smirk like a dementia, they felt a little lingering fear in their hearts, and their spines were still chilled. They knew very well that if Chinyu was in a bad mood just now, he could easily kill them together. This is definitely not a problem. They can go to the battlefield and have already made psychological preparations. However, death can be vigorous, but this kind of death is also unclear. Make them unacceptable. Okay, the killers will be killed forever. They want to kill me, so if I kill them, that should be normal, right? Chinyu seemed to have done a trivial thing, and swept the audience with scrutiny. Then he walked slowly to Yamanaka K's and Aburame to take the roots. Yes, Chinyu is right. Gen's people are too indifferent. They dare to kill their companions. Even if they pass it back to Konoha, they will not be able to escape punishment. Instead of letting these two people stay in the team like fish bones stuck in the throat, it's better to get rid of them. Now that Aburame and Yamanaka are struggling to conquer the crowd, the team is leaderless. Chinyu, your strength is outstanding, I urge you to lead the team. The ninjas in the arena joined in one after another. Chinyu couldn't help but smile. Wall grass is not lacking anywhere. But the only thing that satisfied him was that these people never offered to give up his teammates and shot him. Otherwise, he didn't mind and solved them easily. Chinyu, you can't kill them. Shizune suddenly persuaded. Danzo is very vengeful. Once Yamanaka and Aburame are killed, they will definitely give you the name Missing Nin. I don't want anything to happen to you. As soon as these words came out, the expressions of many people in the field changed drastically. They have heard more or less about Gen's behavior. However, with Danzo's identity here, many people dare not speak out. Moreover, many people saw Danzo's hostility towards the Uchiha family. You don't want me to have an accident. Qinfeng looked at Shizune with a smile. Shizune's expression was stagnant, and a trace of red hue appeared on his cheeks. He finally bit Kiba and nodded. I don't want everyone to have an accident. So that's the case, it seems that my expression was wrong. Qinfeng laughed dryly and said, since Shizune, you said, I will let them go for the time being, but the death penalty can be escaped, and life is hard to forgive, so let's imprison them first. Everyone respects me so much, so I won't hold back. I will rest in place for 3 days. After 3 days, we will take the initiative to fight. Chinyu looked at Shizune and said, in my eyes, my companions must not give up. Unless you step on my corpse. Come on, take them down first. The indifferent voice made everyone in the field suddenly shocked. Originally, in their eyes, Qin Feng was a shy and cowardly person. But now because of all this label has been completely subverted. Whether it's taking the route of Yamanaka Kase and Aburame in an instant with demonic illusion, or taking the initiative now. In their eyes, Qin Yu stood up for his companions. This gave them an inexplicable sense of security as companions. Chapter 4 I will soon learn. Qin Yu, don't worry, this pass is an important strategic position for our country of fire. Although we will not disobey the order, we will never give up easily. Otherwise, once Kumogakure passes the pass, it will be transformed into in the case of Zero, it is a huge threat to Konoha. Azuki Kangwu, who had just spoken to stop him, said in a deep voice. Go get ready, Qin Yu said while looking at these people. The world of Hokage is all about the weak and the strong, and Qin Yu's strength is enough to shock them. What's more, if you give up your companions, even if it is for a mission, going back to Konoha will also be spurned. Moreover, once the Kumogakure enters Konoha through this pass, it will be like a land of no one. To continue to block, I am afraid it is too difficult. Qin Yu, don't worry. A group of ninjas agreed, planning to take precautions on their own. By the way, who of you has a ninjutsu scroll with you? Qin Feng suddenly remembered something important. He now has a one-key full-level system, which can make all kinds of ninjutsu full-level. There are still 3 days of free time at the moment. Of course, the opportunity to enhance his own strength cannot be easily missed. Moreover, Kumogakure, SAB combination is not an easy character to deal with. Ninjutsu scroll. The more than 20 ninjas present couldn't help but startled. No, Qin Feng didn't hold out much hope either. After all, in this wartime state, who would carry a learning scroll with them? Moreover, there is a centralized ninjutsu scroll training room in the ninjutsu village, and most of the ninjutsu is also inherited by teachers or guided by elders. Rarely would anyone carry a ninjutsu scroll alone with them. If you lose on the battlefield, not only will your life be lost, but the scrolls will also fall on other people. Azuki Kangwu, out of the crowd, made his debut. Qin Yu, I don't know why you want a ninjutsu scroll. This is an A-level ninjutsu I prepared for my daughter, Raiden Thunder style Luo Lei. I originally planned to go back after the mission was completed. A present for her is Chunin. Quote. Now instead of falling into Kumogakure's hands, it's better to give it to you. Your daughter. Qin Yu raised his brows, looked at the outline of Jonin's face, a vaguely familiar outline, and said, your daughter is Azuki Yugao. Haha, Azuki, your daughter is really outstanding. Even Qin Yu paid attention to it. A big man laughed heartily. Azuki Kangwu glared at him and said, shut up you bastard. You keep introducing your son to me, my precious daughter, but I swear, he likes at least Jonin. Che, my son Inu Arashi will soon become Chunin, especially Jonin is just around the corner. Inu Feng quickly retorted. Azuki, look at Qin Yu, his strength can definitely reach a special Jonin level, but demonic illusion can't even catch up with us old guys. An unexpected voice appeared in the team. Shizune's expression froze, and he said anxiously, you guys stop joking, hand over the scroll to Qin Yu first, he may be of some use. Little Shizune, why do you look like Yuhi? It's not because you like Qin Yu. As the roar of laughter spread, the suppressed atmosphere in the cave dissipated a little. After looking up and down, Azuki Kangwu patted Qin Yu on the shoulder and said, good boy, your powerful demonic illusion can indeed reach the limit of being a special Jonin. This scroll is handed over to you. If you can go back alive, I have a letter here that I hope you can pass on to my daughter. Qin Yu, I also have something here, you help me pass it on to my son. I have it here too. I trouble you too. Looking at the ninjas who took out letters and some personal objects one after another. There is no doubt that Chinyu is the one with the greatest chance to return to Konoha alive. Chinyu, can you help me return this Kunwu to Lord Tsunade? Shizune couldn't hold back his breath. This is the gift she gave me as a teacher. For a time, the smiles on everyone's faces concealed a trace of bitterness. Do you think there is no doubt that you will die in this battle? Chinyu said indifferently. Then why did you disapprove when Yamanaka-fung and the others decided to retreat just now? Everyone looked stunned. In their eyes, Chinyu's strength is enough to reach the point of being a special Jonin. However, there are hundreds of people in Kumogakure, as well as the AB combination, and not one person can resist. Azuki Kingwu hurriedly said, Chinyu, don't get me wrong, we are not people who are greedy for life and fear of death. When we are Jonin, and when we take on the task, we already have the heart to die. What's more, this pass is the main passage to Konoha. If Kumogakure is allowed to cross here and drive straight in, Konoha will be attacked from the back and forth, and our family and children will be threatened with life. So, we would rather die than retire. Inu Feng also nodded and said solemnly, Chinyu, we have always underestimated you. We never thought that your Grandmaster is such a powerful demonic illusion. We already have the heart to die here, just hope you can help us with something. Go back. Chinyu, just help them. Shizune couldn't help but persuade, help me too. For a time, everyone looked at Chinyu with a little more hope. Sorry, I won't help you. Chinyu said lightly, you take these things back, and you have to hand them back. Including this scroll, let's go back together. The small voice swept the audience like a hurricane, shaking everyone's soul at the same time. Azuki Kingwu couldn't help clenching his fists, his eyes slightly filled with yuhi. Okay, the good boy is right, let's go back together. When I go back, I will definitely introduce my daughter to you. Haha, Azuki, you are really disrespectful. HMPH, I think you guys are eager to have a daughter to introduce to Chinyu. Azuki Kingwu glared, Chinyu, what do you want a ninjutsu scroll for? This is an A-level Raiden Thunder style Luole. Everyone couldn't help but be curious and looked at Chinyu. Before the battle of life and death, this A-level ninjutsu is very powerful, but it is obviously not useful. Nothing, I just want to learn 2 more ninjutsu. Chinyu took the scroll. He has a 1-key full-level system, and for ninjutsu, the more the better. Now I'm learning ninjutsu, I'm afraid I can't catch up a bit. Azuki Kingwu looked stunned and said, it took me more than a month to learn this ninjutsu before I became a complete master. Now I only have 3 days, which seems a bit too much. Rush. Don't worry, I will learn it soon. Chinyu did not explain. I can't tell them, I have the system by my side, and I can reach the full level with 1 click. This is probably even more unbelievable. Azuki Kingwu was stunned for a moment and said, well, I also understand this ninjutsu. If you insist on learning, I can guide you. Thank you Uncle Azuki, I am enough alone. Chinyu shook his head and refused, and took the scroll and walked out first. Watching Chinyu's back go away, many of the ninjas in the field sighed secretly. Chapter 5 Raiden Thunder Style Kirin 1-click full level. This Chinyu seems to be a little overworked. A-level ninjutsu is not easy to learn. Even the experienced Azuki took more than a month to learn it. How could he succeed in 3 days? Inu Feng couldn't help but said. Okay, young people are like this, it's good to meet the wall. Azuki Kingwu patted King Feng on the shoulder and said, I hope Chinyu will understand that some things cannot be forced. Outside the cave, a slightly remote basin. Chinyu opened the Mangekyo Sharingan immediately after unfolding the Raiden Thunder style scroll. Sharingan fell into the hands of Kakashi, creating the reputation of copy ninja Kakashi. For a ninja to learn ninjutsu, there are 2 most important levels. The first is entry, and the second is Grandmaster. However, Chinyu now has a Mangekyo Sharingan, which can be achieved in an instant. As for the Grandmaster, you can reach the full level with one click. Now Chin-Yu can be said to be equipped with the original physical plugin, and the invincible upgrade. Riding the horse against the sky. Ding! Find out the speed of the hand seal technique, whether it's one click full level. Full level immediately. Qin-Feng quickly flipped his hands, and the chakra in his body was undergoing precise nature transformation. Raiden Thunder Style Thunder. When the last magic seal fell, there was a low roar in the sky. 9 thunders of light, like a dragon coming out of the abyss, with a sharp attitude, directly fell on the rock 7 or 8 meters away. Boom! The huge rock burst into pieces. Under the splash of thunder light, the gravel flew, and a big hole of more than 10 meters was blown up abruptly. Under the smoke of gunpowder, it looked shocking. Seeing this scene, Chin-Yu couldn't help but be stunned. According to the description of the A-level Raiden Thunder Style Thunderbolt on the scroll, once the master has mastered this ninjutsu, he can communicate with the free thunder element of heaven and earth, and perform a thunderbolt attack. However, the scene in front of him went beyond this scope. Could it be because of the one-key full-level system? Chin-Yu raised his brows. He remembered that Uchiha Madara once said in the original book that there is no weakest ninjutsu, only the weakest. A Cadent Fire Style Grand Fireball, you can use the feeling of a big move. Only Uchiha Madara can do it. Now, Chin-Yu's situation is probably due to the full level of ninjutsu. However, just now, the chakra in Chin-Yu's body was still consumed by 1/10. Ding dong! Thunder Attribute Chakra, 1 click full level. Ding dong! Raiden Thunder Style Thunder, 1 click full level. Ding dang! The natural power of Thunder Attribute Induction is full level with 1 key. The sound of the system prompt in his mind instantly confirmed Chin-Yu's thoughts. Looking at the big pit that was struck by the falling thunder not far away, I suddenly remembered the awesome ninjutsu from Uchiha's assistant in Raiden Thunder Style Ninjutsu. S-Class Raiden Thunder Style Kirin. It can be said that if this ninjutsu is not required to rely on the right time and place to be able to perform. Destructive power alone can match Uzumaki Naruto Futon, Wind Style Rasenshuriken. It's a pity that in the original work, this Raiden Thunder Style Kirin appeared in a terrific way, and it was a short-lived species in the later stage. There has never been a second time. This is a pity for many fans. Kumogakure attacking now reaches hundreds of people, and there are AB combinations, which is destined to be a tough battle. Once caught in a protracted war, with Qin-Feng's current chakra level, even if he has Mangekyo Sharingan, he will be consumed to death. Therefore, this S-Class Raiden Thunder Style Kirin may be the key to Qin-Feng's turnaround. Being able to use the power of lightning from the sky and the earth to greatly reduce the consumption of chakra and exert a speed of 1/1000th of the speed of light. As a large-scale killing move, it may be able to play an unexpected role. What's more, Chin-Yu also has a one-click full-level system. There is a high chance that it will be good to be able to reproduce Raiden Thunder Style Kirin and temporarily act as the bottom ace of the press box. Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. 3 days is just a blink of an eye. Ding dong! Raiden Thunder Style Kirin full level with 1 click. Hearing this familiar sound, Chin-Yu breathed a sigh of relief. The connection with the backlog of thunderclouds in the sky was instantly cut off. The thunderclouds that had accumulated in the sky and the earth suddenly dissipated, a huge pressure looming, like a flash in the pan. Fortunately, there is a one-key full-level system, and even the natural power induction of the thunder attribute is full. Otherwise, the Raiden Thunder Style Kirin test would not have been successful so smoothly. Chin-Yu dispersed the chakra in his body. During this period of practice, he clearly understood the shortcomings of the Uchiha family, lack of blue. No wonder, Sage Eye and Sage Body, every time they fight a protracted battle, they are eventually exhausted. Even Uchiha Madara in the original book managed to transplant and phagocytose the cells of the original Hokage. It seems that after the matter here is over, Chinyu still has to try to get the sage body. When Chinyu walked out of the secluded basin, the 27 Konoha ninjas left behind had already assembled. Everyone's faces were solemn, and they were all ready to fight, and there was a hint of determination to die in their pupils. In their eyes, this irreversible war, in the face of hundreds of Kumogakure, combined with AB, was much less fortunate. However, after the pass is the land of fire in a flat river. Once this place is lost, let alone Konoha Ninja Village, even their family will be in a state of doom, so they can't retreat. Chinyu, don't be discouraged if you don't get an A-level ninjutsu master. Even the bastard Azuki took more than a month. Inu Feng couldn't help persuading him. However, the cumulonimbus cloud that suddenly appeared just now, as if there was something hiding in the cloud, made people feel oppressed, and we thought that Kumogakure came to attack. Quanfang, which pot is not to be mentioned? Which pot should you mention? Can't you say a little less? Azuki Kingwu stared. Boy, don't put too much pressure on yourself. That's the same sentence. If you can't hold on to it, you can take Shizune and escape first. You can't learn a ninjutsu in just 2 or 3 days. Seeing Chinyu's appearance, many people's expressions softened slightly. After all, after seeing Chinyu's powerful demonic illusion with his own eyes, he has an inexplicable confidence in this previously unknown young man. Chapter 6 gives you 2 options. The time is just right, I have already learned that ninjutsu. Chinyu said with a smile. Learn A-level ninjutsu in 3 days. Azuki Kingwu was startled, then patted Chinfeng's shoulder cheerfully and said, You good boy, you are still joking at this time. But that's fine. Let the atmosphere ease a little bit. 30 minutes ago, according to the report of the Dark Sentry, the main force of Kumogakure has appeared 5 kilometers away. You can give an order. Chinfeng did not explain the questioning, frowned and said, 30 minutes ago. I'm not stipulating that wartime intelligence updates are every 15 minutes. Azuki Kingwu's expression changed suddenly. They completely ignored this because of the repressive atmosphere of team integration and death. Azuki, something is bad, Yamanaka Kase and Aburame are gone. Genin, a guard, hurried over. As soon as these words came out, everyone's nerves suddenly tightened. The 2 things seem unrelated. If you scrutinize 1 or 2 in depth, their dark whistle will be solved quietly, and even the warning will not be issued in time. Is it related to the 2 of them? Return them all to the cave for me. Chinyu shouted in a hurry. The expressions of the people present changed suddenly. Haha, I just realized it now. I thought that this time Konoha sent someone to resist our Kumogakure attack. It turned out to be a stunned young man. Hearty laughter resounded without warning. Figures flashed in all directions, and there were hundreds of people in numbers. The first of them, on a hill several hundred meters away, is the AB combination that makes all countries terrified. No, we're surrounded. Inu Feng turned pale. Kumogakure standing in front of him, as long as they are not fools, they will know that this is a trap. Hundreds of people, as well as the AB group, and they were ambushed, we are simply dead. Azuki-senpai, what are we going to do? It must be Yamanaka Wind and Aburame who took the route, otherwise our defense line arrangement and secret post will not be seen through. The scene was chaotic, facing hundreds of people led by Hokage I, known as the next generation of Kumogakure village, and Killer Bee Jinchuriki Column Force Killer Bee. This is undoubtedly a disaster. Calm down. Azuki Kingwu's face also turned ashen, and when he looked at Chinyu, he couldn't help but startled. The calm face on that face, as if he didn't take all this to heart. Is this being frightened? Haha, your panic really makes me very happy. I laughed outrageously and said, I really want to know what your plans are next, whether to surrender obediently or let me kill you with my own hands. Kill, kill. Surrender, or die. Hundreds of people shouted in unison, making all the Konoha ninja nerves tense to ultimate, and the panic on their faces could not be concealed. Kumogakure in front of you, play and interpret the first move. Chinyu. Shizune's face turned pale, and he couldn't help but look at Uchiha Chinyu. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Chinfeng rubbed Shizune's head and said, Senior Azuki, you take them back to the cave and hide in the barrier. Leave the rest to me. Chinyu had expected all of this. After all, the roots in the original work can do anything to achieve their goals. At present, Yamanaka Feng and the two have been seized by Qin Feng, and they have given up their teammates in important strategic positions. Once Chinyu and others are allowed to go back alive, it may cause a negative impact on the route. Therefore, the only way is to strike first and use the knife to kill. However, this is also in Chinyu's mind. Next time we meet, he will be able to shoot at the root without any hesitation. One more plausible excuse. Chinyu, are you alone? Are you crazy? We won't watch you die alone. Azuki Kingwu's expression changed. He never expected Chinyu to give such a reply. Although it was against hundreds of Kumogakure and the terrifying AB group, they couldn't let him fight Chinyu alone. Chinyu, don't blame yourself too much, we will face it together, there will always be a way. Shizune urged urgently. Chinyu, you really don't need to care, we stayed voluntarily. Yes, we are the ninjas of Konoha, and have already put life and death in our eyes. In the eyes of many people, Chinyu's actions were because he forced the entire team to stay, so he felt remorse. Sent to death, Chinyu shook his head with a dry smile. Don't worry, I'm not stupid enough to send me to death. You stay in the barrier, I'm just worried that I will save you after a while. I am the captain you elected, this is an order. The small voice was full of undoubted taste at this moment. Azuki-senpai, what should we do? Shizune was anxious. Azuki Kingwu's expression changed, looked at Chinyu's indifferent face, bit Kiba and said, I'll retreat into the cave, and support Chinyu at any time. Don't forget, his strength is stronger than me. As soon as these words came out, whether it was Konoha's ninja or Kumogakure, they couldn't help but startled. However, when I think of Chinyu's demonic illusion alone, he took Yamanaka Feng and Abarame's two Jonins and killed them instantly. I was apprehensive in my heart, but still bit the bullet and retreated. They just swear in their hearts that if there is any accident, they will definitely take action to rescue them with lightning speed. Konoha Ninja, a Kumogakure team leader, who had retreated into the cave in an orderly manner, he couldn't help but said, Master I, are we going to stop it? If we enter the barrier, it may be detrimental to us. HMPH, what's not good, what is worth paying attention to in the mere rogue army? I thought that the Uchiha clan in the intelligence sent Shisui, but I didn't expect it to be just an obscure trash. I snorted coldly. According to the newspaper, this stunner is nothing but Chunin. Quote. These Konoha ninjas actually obeyed a Chunin's command. I don't think they're stupid, or they're just jumping off the wall. Hearing the words, the team leader quickly apologized and said, Master I is right, these people are already in our pockets. As long as we break through this barrier, the huge country of fire will become our country of thunder. Kumogakure in the field showed joy. Konoha opened 3 major battlefields at the same time, but he couldn't conquer it for a long time, which indeed made Kumogakure village feel threatened. Now it can be the straw that breaks the camel's back, which is not happy. Are you finished? Chinyu said suddenly. Now you have 2 options. First, get out now. Second, I killed you all. Chapter 7_. The small voice swept the audience like a hurricane at this moment. Arrogant and domineering. Still crazy. In the eyes of Kumogakure and even Konoha ninjas, it is undoubtedly the latter. The current situation, whether it is the number of people or the strength, is completely catching turtles in the urn. Now Chinyu is talking nonsense, which is downright contempt for their Kumogakure. Sure enough, he is an ignorant child. Today we will see how you killed us. HMPH, kill him first, let him understand what the gap is. As a Chunin, the first thing on the battlefield is how to judge the strength gap and learn to live. Kill him. A Kumogakure roared, took out a kunai with his backhand, and rushed out first. The team that followed immediately moved. For a time, people number 7 or 8 rushed towards Chinyu with a galloping attitude. Chinyu, be careful. Shizune was anxious. However, the pupils of Azuki Kangmu beside him suddenly shrank. I saw that in the face of the fast-approaching 7 people, Chinyu didn't have the slightest idea of dodging. Azuki, that seems to be your Raiden Thunder-style technique. Anufeng exclaimed. Is he crazy, trying to use the technique of falling thunder at this time? Azuki Kangmu was anxious, and was about to jump out to support. Boom. In the sky, there was a low sound of thunder. Chinyu's hand seal stopped abruptly. Raiden Thunder-style Thunderbolt. Bang bang bang. 7 lightning Jinchuriki column lights up suddenly in the sky. The next moment, at ultimate speed, he headed towards the 7 Kumogakure who appeared more than 10 meters away from Chinyu. The speed is so fast and the number is so large that people can't react at all. Boom. 7 Kumogakure were directly enveloped in it. The violent destructive power overwhelmed the ground and burst open in response. Light blue thunder light illuminated the entire canyon. The billowing dust and the flying gravel made everyone's heart tighten. After everything calmed down, the deep pit blasted by the thunder light was 7 or 8 meters in size. Every Kumogakure was covered in blood, and some people had broken hands and feet. Obviously can't die anymore. What kind of ninjutsu is this? This seems to be an A-level thunderbolt. Even some Grandmaster Jonin can only drive 3 thunderbolts. He is a Chunin, how can he accurately kill the 7 Hawu people? This kid is weird, spread out quickly, don't let him succeed again. The scene suddenly became a little chaotic. The moment before, they completely ignored Chinyu, because they thought that a mere Chunin could not pose a threat to them. Now Chinyu shot and killed 7 people in seconds. The result was different. However, compared to Kumogakure, Konoha's ninjas were even more shocked. They clearly knew that Chinfeng only started learning about falling thunder 3 days ago. Now not only is he a master of this A-rank ninjutsu, but he is completely beyond the state of proficiency. I am afraid that I have also understood the profound meaning of it, and I can instantly send 7 thunder lights. Standing on the hill, Ai's eyes flickered and said, "Don't panic, the other party is just an unknown Chunin, perhaps a little bit of Raiden Thunder-style talent, who has understood the profound meaning of this ninjutsu. Sato, go to Grandmaster Raiden Thunder-style and bring him back." Kumogakure, who had been standing by Ai's side, wearing a mask, nodded and stepped out. However, the footsteps quickly stiffened in midair. A fiery wave of air blew head-on. Chinyu's flying hands stopped abruptly, and at the moment when the fiery chakra burst out, he turned into a 20 to 30 meter huge fireball. Rolling out of the sky. What the hell is going on here? Am I dreaming? Is this still the great fireball jutsu? PFF'd. The air seemed to be penetrated, and the distance of several hundred meters was pulled apart in the blink of an eye. Wherever you pass along the way, whether it is a rock or a tree, it burns in an instant. Sato, who took a step forward, turned pale, and hurriedly retreated. Even I and Killer B's nerves suddenly tightened, subconsciously dodging the edge. The oncoming grand fireball fell off the chain at the juncture. Do not. It should be said that the angle was obviously misaligned, and at a 45-degree angle, it shot straight up into the sky. Boom! The fireball of dozens of meters shattered in the void. The flames flying all over the sky illuminate half of the sky. The sparks drifted away, as if a wonderful fireworks feast was staged. Everyone present was stunned, especially Kumogakure, who was frightened and ran away. Watching the huge grand fireball directly rolled out a deep groove on the ground. There are also trees that are still burning around, and their faces are stunned, but they can't react. Regardless of whether it was the Raiden thunder-style lightning technique just now, or the current grand fireball. What a power this is! It's completely low-level ninjutsu, almost playing S-rank ninjutsu. When I thought about it, if I was hit head-on by a grand fireball of dozens of meters, I'm afraid there would be no bones left. HMPH, bratty brat, I thought you were capable of anything, but it seems that your chakra is too large, which mutated the ninjutsu. Ai Leng snorted. Now in such a win-win situation, Kumogakure under his command has been making a fool of himself in public one after another, and of course he has to save this place. Looking at Qinfeng with the same expression, I said disdainfully, unfortunately, your biggest weakness is your blind pursuit of power. Ninjutsu that can't even hit the target, no matter how powerful it is, it will be just like the fireworks just now, just like the fireworks. The riots of Kumogakure gradually subsided. Master Ai is right, let's not mess around. A person who can't even control ninjutsu can't defeat our Kumogakure at all. Furthermore, he has performed 2 ninjutsu blindly in pursuit of power one after another. There is definitely not much chakra in his body. I think he can only perform 1 more ninjutsu at most. As long as we take the blow and take him down, there's no problem at all. Of all Kumogakure lit up, and when they looked at Qin, there was a hint of greed. It's a pity that the shot just now didn't hit, otherwise there will definitely be huge casualties in Kumogakure. I didn't expect that Qin could hide so deeply that he could perform ordinary ninjutsu to such a degree. Azuki, what should we do now? Qin obviously has a special talent. In addition to the powerful demonic illusion, he can easily comprehend the profound meaning of thunder fire ninjutsu. If he is handed over to the 3 generations of Hokage to train himself, our Konoha will definitely appear in the future. A stronger presence. Quote. A group of Konoha ninjas babbled. As for the last words, even Azuki Kingwoo's heart was touched. After experiencing the tug-of-war on the 3-way battlefield, he is very clear that a genius's combat power can have a huge impact on a battle situation. For example, Yellow Flash Namikaze Minato, which is in the limelight, is the best example. If Uchiha Qin can grow to this point, it will be a powerful new blood for Konoha. Chapter 8 Kill the Audience. Messy thoughts flashed through Azuki Kingwoo's mind. He looked at Qin who was still calm, and said with a stagnant expression, I feel that Qin may not be that simple. The attack, obviously missed, why are you so calm? Azuki Kingwoo said while looking up at the sky. The sight of it made him almost split his eyes. With the canyon as the center, it seems that there is an invisible big hand, rapidly rolling the backlog of thunderclouds. Like a giant funnel. One after another ferocious thunder snake roamed in the clouds, looking more and more ferocious. The oppressive aura that gradually diffused and opened gave people a feeling that the mountains and the rain were about to come and the building was full of wind. He vaguely guessed that Qin might have already learned Luolei and hid in the basin for the blow in front of him. Cannot say. Azuki Kingwoo clenched his fists. He knew that the power of this shot would be astonishing. Otherwise, Qin would not have spent so much effort. Feeling the pounding of his heart, Azuki Kingwoo's nerves were about to collapse because of the tension. Why, Qin was still able to stand outside as if nothing had happened. What a terrifying state of mind. Boy, you're not lacking in skills, right? I said with a sneer, isn't there enough chakra? If it doesn't work, then it's our turn. Looking at Chinyu, who was still indifferent, Ai's face sank, and he shouted sharply, "Come on, spread out and surround him, I don't believe that he can make a big wave. Kill him." Dozens of Kumogakure erupted in an instant. Just now Raiden Thunder Style and Grand Fireball, but let them lose face. Now that Chinyu's chakra is insufficient, it is a good opportunity to beat the underdog. 300 meters, 200 meters. 10, 30, 50, 70. Chinyu silently calculated all of this, feeling the chakra nature transformation in his body and resonating with the thunderclouds in the sky. With that backlog of Lei Wei, even Chinyu felt his heart tremble. "You foolish kid, give me death." A Kumogakure arrived first. However, it should be said that dozens of Kumogakure came from all directions, and each one's eyes seemed to be staring at the fat in the basin. Raiden Thunder Style Thunder Gun. Raiden Thunder Style Ground Walk. Raiden Thunder Style Thrust. The successive roars echoed wildly between the heavens and the earth. One after another dazzling thunder light turned into various attacks and stabbed Chinyu head-on. Seeing Chinyu, who seemed to be ignorant, Shizune couldn't help but hurried out. "It's here, everyone will support the barrier with all their strength, or we will all die." Azuki Kingwu shouted violently. Everyone was stunned. The next moment, Chinyu, who was under attack, disappeared from thin air like a ghost. It's a Raiden Thunder Style instant. Those with sharp eyes can see right through it in an instant. Ai's expression tightened, and he hurriedly raised his head to look at the top of the hill not far away. The scene of entering the goal shocked the nerves. "God, there is a problem this day, run away immediately." Ai roared anxiously. In the clouds, he felt a feeling that even he was terrified. At this moment, he finally understood why Chinyu was standing there in a daze, without the slightest reaction. "It's an inning. You can't escape, my chakra is really not enough. To catch you all in one go, you need a large area, strong destructive power, and a speed that people can't avoid, so I thought of borrowing the power of Tianlei." Chinyu stood on the mountain on top. The lightning that was lurking all over his body was not hidden at all at this moment. Uzumaki-like backlog of thunderclouds, flashing thunder light, and a huge thunder Kirin squeezed out under the body. "Goodbye, cute silly Kumogakure." The voice fell, and Chinyu moved. Kirin incarnate made a roar of the sky. The thunder ripped apart the world, and the thunder light occupied the pupil. Boom! Kirin swooped down, and the speed was so fast that the Kumogakure couldn't recover. Boom! Lightning bursts, powerful enough to rival Tailed Beast Bomb. The entire canyon was instantly submerged by lightning, and whether it was a tree or a rock, it was directly crushed. The lightning that soared into the sky caused the backlog of clouds to be directly penetrated. It's been a few minutes until everything recovers. The huge canyon has become a mess. Do not. It should be said that everything in front of you has no shadow of the canyon. This is completely a flat river, a scorched earth of terracotta. The so-called trees and rocks have disappeared, and some hills have been razed to the ground. As for the so-called Kumogakure, not even the bones survive. Some were lucky enough to be able to display defensive measures in time, and perhaps still be able to leave an arm or a leg. The huge battlefield looks like a mess. Am I dreaming? If we don't have this cave, we might be dead. Are you blind? There are still caves here. If Senior Azuki had not discovered the clue in advance and let us madly bless the enchantment, I'm afraid we would also die. Even the barrier that could resist Kumogakure's attack for 2 days was directly broken. The Raiden Thunder style just now is the most terrifying and powerful forbidden technique I have ever seen in my life. A group of Konoha ninjas, showing the look of the rest of their lives. They were well aware that the blow was against Kumogakure. However, after seeing it with his own eyes, after the shocking scene, his heart is still terrified. Especially seeing those Kumogakure who were directly blasted into slag, their backs were already soaked with cold sweat. "You bastard, you dare to set up a game to kill my men." I and Killer Bee rushed out of the ruins. He was a little embarrassed, but didn't suffer much damage. Some of the Kumogakure, who were close to them, did not participate in the encirclement and suppression, so they were also rescued in time. However, even counting I and Killer Bee together, there are only 7 people. This is a huge gap compared to the mighty posture when he came. If you don't see it with your own eyes, who wants to believe it, under the huge gap in the number of people? In the team led by the combination of AB, Kumogakure will also be killed by a Chunin, and hundreds of elites will be killed instantly. Murderers, people will always kill them, don't they have a life to die for? Chinyu said with a smile. Looking at this genial smile, whether it was Kumogakure or even Konoha's ninja, the soles of his feet were shivering. "Okay, very good," I said with a gloomy face, and then shouted sharply, "I will hit the trap once, and I will definitely not hit it the second time. You have performed 3 such powerful ninjutsu, your chakra is amazing, and it will definitely not last long. I will see today, what ability do you have to defeat me? As long as you fall into my hands, I will definitely crush your bones and let you know how powerful Kumogakure is and how majestic it is." Chapter 9 Unbreakable Defenses. The awe-inspiring voice echoed above the ruins. Looking at Chinyu, who killed hundreds of people in one move, Uzuki Kingwu and the others really had hope. However, when I think of the AB group in Kumogakure who has long been famous in the ninja world, they are still staring at them, and my nerves are tense again. "Uzuki-senpai, do we want to help?" Shizune was anxious. Uzuki Kingwu looked at Chinyu and said, "Chinyu, let's help you." "No need." Chinyu smiled genially and said, "Let's go together, I also want to know what my strength is." "Haha, you brat is really arrogant. I think you're too strong but you dare to say such outrageous remarks." I laughed uncontrollably, and then his face was covered with haze. "I want you to live rather than die." Boom. I stepped hard, and the Raiden Thunder style chakra dormant in the body surged out like a frenzy. A shot, it is ninjutsu. Raiden Thunder style chakra mode. If Namikaze Minato is golden lightning, then I is blue lightning. When the footsteps fell and the ground cracked, I had already crossed 100 meters and appeared in front of Chinyu. The speed was so fast that Uzuki Kingwu and the others suddenly shrank their pupils. In their eyes, Chinyu didn't move at all, he still stood there, watching all this quietly. As if stunned by the scene in front of him. "Boy, you can't even keep up with my speed. You dare to be presumptuous and die for me." I grinned grimly, and his 5 fingers clenched suddenly, and thunder light splashed up. Without any bells and whistles, it was a blow in the face. Thunder fist. Boom. The air was instantly pierced, and the huge fist chased Chinyu's cheek. Looking at Chinyu who still didn't react at all, the rest of Kumogakure couldn't help but laugh. At this moment, they seemed to have seen Chinyu being killed. Boom. The dull and thunderous collision sound suddenly sounded. The fierce and unparalleled thunder fist fell outside Chinyu Shu with a posture that was as heavy as 10,000. Like hitting an invisible iron wall, it was instantly blocked. Thunderlight and Gorilla Yuhi's air waves swept through, forming a huge impact. Ai's expression changed suddenly, as if hitting an iron plate. Seeing that Chinyu's eyes were instantly swallowed by blood, and the 9 Tomo swirls frantically, I almost split his eyes. Ribs made of chakras from Yuhi's gorilla stood in front of Chinyu. What is this? Isn't this the monster that appeared in Demonic Illusion? It's Sharingan. No, the pattern is completely different from the Sharingan of the Uchiha family, single Tomo, double Tomo, and triple Tomo. What the hell is going on? Seeing the change in Chin-Yu's whole person's breath, the aura full of disaster filled his heart, and there was an inexplicable depression in his heart. 9 Tomo Mangekyo Sharingan. Chin-Yu's chakra is not much, but his pupil power is basically zero loss. Is the best way to deal with the Raiden Thunder style chakra pattern known for its speed and power. It's me, Chin-Yu said suddenly. The moment when Tomo's Sharingan turned frantically, Yuhi, the gorilla full of calamity, swept away like a frenzy. A huge air wave burst out with Chin-Yu as the center. PFF'd. An orangutan Yuhi's skeleton arm suddenly appeared on the rib, which looked very penetrating. Without any bells and whistles, he patted Ai like lightning. Be careful, Killer Bee exclaimed urgently. I sensed the danger, and the lightning on his body instantly soared to ultimate. Without any bells and whistles, he stomped on the ground abruptly and retreated straight out. Boom. The ground was instantly smashed, and under the rocks splashed, the other arm chased Ai away. The violent scene made everyone feel caught off guard. Looking at Chin-Yu's back, he quickly condensed into a Susanoo with a height of 12 or 3 meters, and his whole body was beating like a flame. Even more horrified. Bang bang bang. The two arms slammed down in turn, rolling up the fierce wind. Ai, who was surrounded by lightning, quickly dodged under the attack, looking extremely embarrassed. Hee, do you only hide? Chin-Yu said with a faint smile. It has to be said that in the world of Hokage, there are very few people who can use chakra to this extent. Ninjutsu. In addition to having the ability to precisely control the changes of chakra attributes, it also needs a strong physique like a beast to be able to accept the Raiden Thunder-style chakra mode. Even in the huge Kumogakure village, only a few strong people can learn it. This really moved Chin-Yu's mind. For outsiders, Raiden Thunder-style chakra mode may be difficult to learn. But for Chin-Yu, who has a one-key full-level system, it is not much of a challenge. The difficulty is how to get the Raiden Thunder-style chakra mode in Ai's hands. Arrogant boy, don't think that you can be invincible by hiding in the tortoise shell. Ai's voice came suddenly. A figure entwined with blue thunder light instantly appeared above Susanoo. Heavy flow. Ai roared angrily, and the thunder light in his right hand instantly soared, like a battle axe, slamming down on Susanoo's head. Ai saw. Chin-Yu's eyes turned abruptly. He had reached the full level of Mangekyo Sharingan with one click. But it is still the first time to use it, and it will take some time to really use it freely. However, Ai's speed was astonishingly fast, but Chin-Yu could still see through it. If you use your body to counterattack, you might not be able to keep up with Ai in Raiden Thunder-style chakra mode, but Susanoo shot instantly when he thought about it. The huge palm suddenly stepped forward, and the roar was incessantly under the ear, directly colliding with the ribs of Ai's hand. Bang! A thunderous explosion suddenly came out, and the thunder light splashed, like fireworks in the sky. A figure flew upside down and landed more than 10 meters away. It's Lord Ai. He cast a heavy flow, and he still fell behind. Oh my god, that monster didn't even have a crack. Ai turned over and landed on the ground, directly smashing the ground, and there was a slight tingling in his right hand. Susanoo, who had at most damaged a little strength, Ai's face turned ashen. This gave him an unbreakable illusion. I said long ago, let your AB team go together, otherwise you have no chance of winning. Chin-Yu said with a light smile. In the original work, the Susanoo cast by Uchiha Madara was difficult to break even with the 5 shadows working together. The current Chin-Yu may not be as good as Uchiha Madara in spirit and spirit, but Susanoo displayed by the full-level Mangekyo Sharingan is also not weak in defense. HMPH, arrogant boy, your tortoise shell is indeed very strong, but you can't keep up with me in terms of speed. You are doomed to lose. Ai shouted coldly, I'll see how long you can support it. Whoosh. The sound of breaking the air suddenly sounded, and Ai's figure swayed, like a ghost, and appeared in front of Susanoo again. Chapter 10 The Unquenchable Flame. The Level of Thunder Abuse. Ai's right hand instantly turned into a hand knife, and under the violent lightning splash, he burst into a fierce posture, and even the air was distorted. Break it for me. Ai roared again and again. The knife fell on Susanoo without covering his ears. Bang bang bang. One after another, the blue lightning was shot down madly, giving people a dazzling feeling. In just a few seconds, the two fought 12 or 3 times. However, Susanoo remained indestructible in the face of Ai's incomparable offensive. Crazy. Looking at this scene, Kumogakure in the field turned pale. Even Ai, who claims to be unparalleled in attack and speed, can't break through this defense, so who else can do it? After playing for so long, it's time for me to attack. Chinyu smiled lightly and looked at Ai, who had just stood firm. Ai's expression was somber to ultimate, his whole body was crackling with thunder, and he shouted sharply, I can't break your defense for the time being, but you also can't keep up with my speed. Let's see who can hold on longer and who will be the winner. It turns out that you are thinking about this. Chinyu's face showed a hint of playfulness and said, unfortunately, you are thinking wrong. Amaterasu. Nine-tomo Sharingan turned in vain, and an inexplicable death energy quickly spread out in Ai's heart. Brother, be careful. Killer Bee gulped. A huge octopus tentacle wrapped Ai in an instant. Before he could react, the dark flames suddenly burst out. The black flames were like a tide, with an inexplicable heat, causing the temperature of the ruins to skyrocket. The most unimaginable thing is that this black flame spreads very fast, and in the blink of an eye, it occupied most of the octopus arms of hundreds of meters. Is this Kaiden fire style? Quickly use the Sweeten water style to put out the fire. Sweeten water style, water dragon bullet. A Kumogakure of Grandmaster Sweeten water style, his hands quickly formed a spell, and the water element floating in the sky was instantly drawn. With the water dragon condensing, the next moment he rushed towards the black flame. Boom! The water dragon shattered in an instant, and under the steaming water, the black flame became more and more vigorous. The strange scene made everyone's faces change dramatically. This is an unquenchable flame, Kumogakure exclaimed. Ow! The 8-tailed bull ghost let out a roar that shot up to the sky, and the violent chakra came out of his body and shot straight into the sky. The violent scene made Chinyu show a trace of envy. The tailed beast is really different, this is squandered capital. Xiaoba, don't be impulsive. Killer Bee's face changed slightly. Unfortunately, before he could react, Chinyuju, Tomo Sharingan, suddenly turned. Tsukuyomi. Killer Bee instantly felt the world turning. The whole sky was occupied by blood, and Yuhi's 9 Tomo Sharingan quickly emerged in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 800. The dense posture makes people feel like their scalp is tingling. However, despite how Killer Bee struggled, he couldn't move at all when he was on the cross. There is a familiar face in the figure that emerges all around. It's me. Killer Bee's face changed drastically. It's a pity that before he could react, the countless figures that approached, the Yuhi sharp knives in their hands, stabbed him directly. Ah ah ah. The screams echoed in the heaven and earth, and it looked very mournful. This seemingly tedious scene is just a blink of an eye in the outside world. Killer Bee, who was suddenly sluggish, Ai's face that appeared in an instant couldn't help but change. This is demonic illusion. Lord Ai, hurry up and cut off the tentacles of the 8 tails, otherwise, the black flames will devour Lord Killer Bee. A Kumogakure hurriedly reminded. I didn't have time to think about it. The thunder light bloomed in his right hand, turned into a hand knife, and fell directly on the tentacle. PFF'd. The green liquid of the big tent rose into the sky, and when the tentacles fell to the ground, they were quickly swallowed by the black flames. Looking at the black flames that burned even the ground, whether it was Kumogakure or Konoha's ninja, the spine was a little cold. Demonic illusion solution. I didn't care too much, quickly hand seal with both hands, and roared sharply. However, after trying 7 or 8 demonic illusion removal methods one after another, I fell into Killer Bee and Tsukuyomi, still indifferent. Master I, what is going on here? Among the Konohas, the Kurama clan and the Uchiha clan are the Grandmaster demonic illusion, but we have tried so many cracking methods and can't solve it. What should we do? The scene suddenly became chaotic, and the remaining 5 Kumogakure resigned. One move, Kirin instantly killed hundreds of elites. I thought that with the combination of AB, I could restore the disadvantage and defeat Chinyu in one fell swoop to win. However, the successive means refreshed their cognition. How to break the deadlock in the face of such an unsolvable opponent? Now we can only forcibly break the demonic illusion. The first is to kill the caster, and the second is to use the more powerful chakra to shock the body. Ai's face was somber to ultimate. However, seeing Chinyu wearing an indestructible tortoise shell, I instantly gave up the first choice. As for the second option, facing Killer Bee, who is Killer Bee Jinchuriki, column force, I asked himself to compete with chakra. This is completely impossible. What's the matter? Can't make a decision. Chinyu smiled warmly. The solution is very simple. As long as you stay away from me, the caster, this demonic illusion will soon be lifted. Tsukuyomi is one of the strongest demonic illusions that have ever appeared in Hokage. But the duration of the illusion is related to the pupil power of the caster. That day, Kakashi was able to escape because of Uchiha Itachi's lack of strength. However, after the incident, Kakashi was in a coma for 7 or 8 days before he recovered. Thinking back on that scene afterwards, I still have lingering fears. Of course, I won't let you escape so easily. Chinyu's smile grew even more. Ai's cheeks twitched and said, "Boy, don't be too arrogant, I have seen through your means. I can't break your defense, but you can't kill me either." You're right. Chinyu didn't deny it and said with a smile, "So, I want to make a deal with you. As long as you give me the training method of Raiden, Thunder Style, Chakra Mode, I can disarm demonic illusion." Forgot to tell you, in the world of demonic illusion, days and nights may have passed in a second. As soon as these words came out, everyone's expressions changed drastically. Whether it was Konoha or Kumogakure, even I never thought that what Chinyu was plotting was the Raiden Thunder Style chakra pattern on him. Master I, you must not hand over this technique. This is the secret technique of our Kumogakure village. If the people of Konoha get it, it will be a huge threat to our Kumogakure village. Master I, please think carefully. We Kumogakure are unyielding in 100 battles, even if we die. Chapter 11. Become a Hokage and then fight. No, compared to Killer Bee, this mere secret technique is not worth mentioning at all. I took out a scroll with his backhand and threw it directly. Also, this secret technique cannot be learned by anyone. If you are a little careless, you will not be able to control chakra, and you will directly explode and die. Having said that, I looked at Chinyu and said, "You don't mind what I say?" Chinyu didn't expect that I would carry the scroll with him. He didn't take a second look after taking it. He smiled warmly and said, "Thank you for your reminder. I hope you won't be surprised when we meet next time. I'll disarm demonic illusion first." Fell. Chinyu's 9-tomo Sharingan stopped abruptly. Eight Tails, who had fallen into an illusion, let out a roar. I broke through. Damn boy, I'm going to kill you. Killer Bee, why are you in a coma? I still have to fight. The moment the demonic illusion was released, Killer Bee just had time to open his eyes a little, and then passed out. Chin-Yu was not surprised by this scene. In fact, as long as I delays a little longer, the eight-tailed bull demon will also break through Tsukuyomi, and Killer Bee will also get out of trouble. After all, Chin-Yu opened Susanoo, Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi instantly. It is also necessary to maintain Susanoo at all times, which consumes a lot of his pupil power. Moreover, Tsukuyomi is still mainly used for Killer Bee. Boy, Killer Bee will be okay. I tried several methods, but none of them could wake Killer Bee. This is severe loss of consciousness. If Killer Bee didn't fit perfectly with the 8 tails, I'm afraid that the moment Killer Bee lost consciousness, the tailed beast would riot. It's just overdraft of mental strength. You can recover after a period of rest. Chin-Yu raised the scroll in his hand and said, "Thank you, you can go now." Chin-Yu, this is a good opportunity. Inu Feng was anxious, but was interrupted by Azuki Kingwu's eyes. I sneered disdainfully and said, "A bunch of useless people, if it wasn't for another genius from the Uchiha family, you would have already been killed by me." Damn Anbu, I haven't even collected such important information. In Ai's eyes, if they had known about Uchiha Chin-Yu, they would never have lost so much. However, if you can't stay in Konoha, you can come to Kumogakure to find me. I welcome you at any time. I took out a scroll and threw it out again. Enron back to Konoha. Quote. By the way, they all said that the person with the best chance of becoming the 4th Hokage in Konoha is Namikaze Minato, but I think you are equally qualified, Scarlet Ashura. Those words behind, I helped Killer Bee to turn around and left. Next time we meet, I hope that we will be absolute as shadows, and I will pierce your turtle shell. With Ai's departure, the remaining 5 Kumogakure were unwilling. Still fast-paced. For a time, the huge ruins became empty. Winning, we actually blocked Kumogakure's large force, as well as the AB combination. Che, what nonsense are you talking about? Chin-Yu alone killed them and repelled the AB group. It's the credit of Chin-Yu alone. I didn't expect that in the Uchiha clan, besides Shunshi Shisui, there is also a genius like Chin-Yu. That trick Kirin just now made me horrified. Konoha Ninja in the cave was instantly overjoyed, and his face was full of smiles from the rest of his life. Originally facing the impact of Kumogakure, they were already desperate. In particular, after knowing the betrayal of Yamanaka Wind and Aburame taking the route, in their eyes, this is a mortal situation. However, the immediate results have subverted their cognition. Kirin, who killed hundreds of people in an instant. Unbreakable Susanoo. Dark as ink, black flames that cannot be extinguished. And the mighty demonic illusion. All of this is completely beyond the definition of Jonin. Judging by Ai's statement, Chin-Yu has now reached the cage-level candidate, commonly known as the existence of penumbra. Did you hear it just now that Ai and Chin-Yu agreed to become a shadow and fight again, and even gave him a nickname, what bloody arrow? It's Scarlet Asura, you idiot. Woo. Looking at a kind of Konoha ninja who talked a lot, Chin-Yu breathed a sigh of relief. The moment Tomo Sharingan disappeared, the Susanoo on his body also disappeared out of thin air. Chin-Yu, are you injured? I'll treat you right away. Shizune hurried forward with a hint of anxiety on her pretty face. Silly girl, he can't even break through the defense, how could I get hurt? Chin-Yu slapped Shizune's nose with a smile. I love you, Chin-Yu, you can't blame Shizune. Azuki Kingwu also came over with a smile, but his face was full of sighs. Good boy, I didn't expect you to hide so deeply. Thanks to you this time, we will be saved. As for other things, we will definitely support you when you return to Konoha. In the Konoha, the Uchiha clan is in a very awkward position. Has been trapped in the undercurrent of power between Anbu, Root, and the Guard. To Azuki Kingwu's understanding, Chin-Yu, as a genius, has been patient all the time, just to avoid these troubles. Uzumaki. Azuki Kangwoo, who started to make up his mind as soon as he came out and made excuses for himself. Glancing at Shizune, whose face was full of yuhi, Chinyu opened another scroll. There are impressively their guards on it, as well as the specific location of the dark whistle. Damn, our defenses and secret guards change every day. If we can describe it so clearly, only Yamanaka and Aburame know about it. Anufeng and his party also walked quickly. Seeing the information on the scroll, his face turned ashen. If Chinyu didn't take action this time, I'm afraid we would definitely die. Back to Konoha, we must report this matter to Lord Hokage, otherwise how will we convince the public? The root people are so nasty, so what if Danzo is there? Chinyu, don't worry, we will definitely support you. Looking at the crowd of Konoha ninjas, Chinyu didn't say much. In this world, the strong are king, and the weak are just the dolls of the strong. Now in Konoha, Danzo does have a place to make waves. However, Chinyu has a one-key full-level system, as long as he is given time. Grow up quickly. Even Madara, one of the behind-the-scenes bosses, Uchiha Madara, is not in Chinyu's eyes, and he is afraid of a mere Danzo. Once in a hurry, he doesn't mind a few more lives on his hands. Okay, Chinyu is tired too. Let him rest for a while. Shizune, you also go to see if Chinyu needs help. Azuki Kangwoo stopped the others. Involving the Konoha executives and the Uchiha clan cannot be commented casually. At least, before Chinyu spoke, they couldn't make a conclusion. Otherwise, making Chinyu unhappy is not what Azuki Kangwoo wants to see. Chapter 12 Raiden, Thunder Style, Chakra Mode. Watching Chinyu leave, the scene boiled again. Azuki, that pair of eyes just now makes people unable to look directly. Inufeng couldn't help but leaned over. The powerful Raiden, Thunder Style, ninjutsu, the super strong pupil and demonic illusion are simply unmatched. Even I, the next Raikage heir from Kumogakure village, also claimed that Chinyu is qualified to inherit Hokage. Who do you think is more certain than Namikaze Minato? As soon as these words came out, they immediately attracted everyone. Azuki Kangwoo's expression changed slightly, and he sighed helplessly as he looked at the curious crowd. The current situation is not as simple as you think. Yamanaka Kase and Aburame took their roots and fled back to Konoha. With Danzo's hostility to the Uchiha family, they will definitely cover up the two. If Danzo knew we weren't dead, he would have killed us again. The happy expressions on Inufeng and the others' faces instantly stiffened. Azuki, do you think the situation is too bad? What should we do now? Do you need to remind Chinyu? Inufeng said urgently. Azuki Kangwoo shook his head and said, Inufeng, do you think a person who hides so deeply doesn't know about this kind of thing? According to my inference, Chinyu probably already has a countermeasure. Everyone present was silent, and could not help but glance at each other. Recalling the battle just now, I still vividly remember it. With such great strength, he has been dormant in Konoha for so long. I'm afraid the plot is definitely not small. However, if the Kumogakure can be repelled this time, Chinyu will have the greatest credit. Once it is passed back, the Konoha executives must not sit idly by. Then Chinyu is also very good. Not only was he able to defeat the AB combination, but he also plucked his hair and extorted the ninjutsu from Kumogakure village. If this Raiden Thunder Style chakra pattern is handed over to Konoha, it is also a big credit. Everyone in the field was chatting again. After all, this battle was too shocking. You said, Chinyu Grandmaster Raiden Thunder Style ninjutsu, will he try to learn Raiden Thunder Style chakra mode? Dog Feng said coldly. Everyone's nerves were suddenly tense, and Azuki Kangwoo's expression froze as he said, maybe it's really possible. However, I still don't believe that he understood the profound meaning of falling thunder in 3 days and developed a Raiden thunder-style Kirin that is enough to rank S-rank ninjutsu. Azuki, you said that because you lost face, right? Inu Feng teased. Why didn't we take a gamble? Okay, if Chinyu can really do it, I will treat my precious daughter with Chinyu. Azuki Kangwu patted his chest and said. Che, Azuki, are you a bet? You are just looking for an excuse to send your daughter to Chinyu's arms. If you count me, I'll bet too. If Chinyu really learns, I'll let the 2 daughters at the head of the family let Chinyu choose. Old man Mew, you have such a big heart. Your 2 daughters, one is 30 years old and the other is like a giant bear, how can they be placed on the table? If Chinyu really likes it, then he will be blind. Damn, what nonsense are you talking about? I'm going to duel with you, and if you lose, you'll have sex with my daughter. Inside the cave, Chinyu had no idea that he had dozens of future father-in-laws. Walked. I stared at the scroll that recorded the Raiden thunder-style chakra pattern. Chinyu, are you really not injured? Shizune Yuhi said again with a sullen face. Chinyu rolled his eyes helplessly and said, you have repeated this question 10 times. If you don't believe me, why don't I take off my clothes and show you? As he spoke, Chinyu unbuttoned the buttons on his body. Chinyu, you're a hooligan. Shizune's cheeks became more Yuhi's, and after glaring at him, he turned and left. Watching her leave, Chinyu was also free. He has consumed a lot of chakra and pupil power now. In other words, his body has been hollowed out. There is no physical strength and impulse to do that at all. After finding a good corner and sitting cross-legged, I began to try to practice this Raiden thunder-style chakra mode. In the battle just now, Chinyu used Mangekyo Sharingan to secretly check the moment I entered the mode. Now, after comparing it with the explanation recorded on the scroll one by one, it is found that there is no omission. It seems that I has never thought that he will have Waterloo. He didn't do anything on the magic scroll. After reading it again and again, Chinyu put away the scroll, entered a state of meditation, and restored the chakra in his body a little. After a short while, Chinyu opened his eyes, and the sky outside began to darken. After a battle during the day, a group of Konoha's ninjas clearly performed their duties. Some people were even reassigned to guard posts in various places. Therefore, Chinyu was still the only one in the huge cave. The chakra in the body has recovered to 70-80-80, and I finally understand the pain of Hitaki's lack of blue. Chinyu sighed helplessly. Putting 3 big moves will consume 2/3 of chakra. If it encounters a protracted battle, it will be disarmed in the middle. That's a nightmare. Forget it, I'll think about the matter of adding chakra. Now I'll learn the Raiden thunder-style chakra mode first. Chinyu put aside his thoughts. His eyes were slowly closed, and all the explanations on the scroll appeared in his mind. After a full 3 or 4 seconds, Chinyu suddenly opened his eyes, and his hands flew quickly, forming a series of magic seals. Under the roar of the chakra in the body, strands of electric arcs emerged on the body surface. Mangekyo Sharingan had copied from I flashed in Chinyu's mind, and the surgical seal suddenly changed. The chakra, which was originally smooth as a trickle, changed in an instant, like a galloping horse. A low roar emanated from Chinyu's body. Countless violent blue arcs burst out of Chinyu's body, illuminating half of the cave. However, as soon as the thunder arc emerged, it collapsed between the heavens and the earth in an instant. The chakra attributes in the body changed, dissipated directly, and returned to normal. Hint of happiness flashed on Chinyu's face, and he said to himself, fortunately, the chakra change was cut off in time, otherwise the attribute change that was agitated at that moment would have killed me in a blink of an eye. No wonder that guy handed me this arcane scroll so easily. Ding dong, I found out that the host has learned the Raiden thunder-style chakra mode, whether it is full level with one click. Full level immediately. After trying, Chinyu also gave up self-study. If there is a system, it is self-abuse. Congratulations to the host, the Raiden Thunder style chakra mode is full. As the sound of the system's prompt dissipated, Chinyu spit out a deep breath, his thoughts moved again, and the chakra in his body changed again. Under the crackling sound, blue thunder arcs splattered out of Chinyu's body. In an instant, under the stimulation of this thunder arc, Chinyu felt that his cells and body were rapidly activated. Chapter 13 Konoha Reinforcement _ It feels really weird. A look of joy flashed across Chinyu's face. Originally, even if a person is accustomed to his own weight, sometimes he will feel a sense of weight bearing. However, now that Chinyu is in the Raiden Thunder style chakra mode, his entire body is as light as a feather. However, the consumption of chakra in the body is also not slow. With Chinyu's current chakra volume, it can last up to 20 minutes. If you perform any more ninjutsu, then the time supported by Raiden Thunder style chakra mode may be further shortened. I am afraid it is for this reason that I will develop ninjutsu to reduce his chakra loss. Try the speed first. Chinyu took a step forward. With a puff on the spot, except for the remaining traces of lightning arcs, the whole person was like a blue electric light, lacing straight out of the cave. Konoha Ninja, who was stationed not far outside the cave, was startled at first, and then he couldn't help rubbing his eyes. What's wrong with you? Anufeng and Azuki Kingwu walked slowly. We seem to see a blue light flashing just now. But before I could see it clearly, it disappeared out of thin air. Blue light. And Azuki Kingwu were stunned for a moment, and then quickly asked, is that feeling the same as Aishi, Raiden Thunder style chakra mode? Azuki-senpai, when you say that, I feel a bit similar. Azuki-senpai, are you saying that Kumogakure went and returned to take revenge? The two slightly younger Chunin's face flashed a trace of tension. Not long after the battle, they had Chinyu as the backbone. But the last time Kumogakure suffered a big loss, I am afraid this time will not be hit again. No, I'd rather Kumogakure come back to find trouble, and I don't want to believe the guesses in my heart. Azuki Kingwu and Anufeng couldn't help but look at each other. The two clearly wanted to go to the same place. Go and see the cave, is Chinyu still in it? As soon as these words came out, the two slightly younger Konoha ninjas were completely enlightened. If the thunder light just now is exactly the same as the Raiden Thunder style chakra mode. The person who performed this secret technique was not I, the heir of Raikage, but Uchiha Chinyu. Now that the battle is over, I get a scroll with a Raiden Thunder style chakra pattern, but it's only half a day. If Chinyu really learned the secret technique, what else can be used to describe it? Genius. Evildoer. Monster. Or the god of ninjutsu. Chinyu, who is thousands of meters away, did not know that his actions would bring them such a big shock. In the Raiden Thunder style chakra mode, his speed has completely reached the subsonic level. In the blink of an eye, it is a distance of hundreds of meters. Moreover, under the activation of cells, Chinyu's neural response, attack power, and 5 senses were greatly improved. Even the sound of insects hundreds of meters away can be clearly heard. Stop, our ninjas of Konoha. A hurried cry came. Chinyu instantly locked the source of the sound. Although he didn't have pervert's perceptual ninjutsu, Chinyu could still identify the approximate number of people through his voice. 7 people besieging 2 people, it's interesting. Chinyu's lips twitched and he couldn't help but smile. Flash, he decided to go and see what happened to the Konoha ninja. In the forest, a clearing. 2 slender figures looked back to back at the ninjas with all kinds of hideous animal masks, eyeing all around. We are Konoha ninjas, this is the proof of identity. A pale-faced teenager who was only 12 or 13 years old couldn't help saying. Behind him is a girl with purple hair and a beautiful face. Judging from the identification they wore, the two were newly promoted chunin. Of course, the weight of this chunin, placed in the peace era in the original work, needs to pass the chunin exam and the evaluation of the names of various countries to be able to rank in this column. Unfortunately, in the Third Ninja War, vast majority of chunin are forcibly promoted. 1. Opening up 3 major battlefields at the same time has already made the backbone of Konoha squandered. 2. The protracted battle is all about attrition. With the limited combat power in Konoha, it simply cannot last for long. 3. Forcibly upgraded to chunin, in order to confuse the enemy, and really care about it, it is also a strong external force. According to the understanding in Chinyu's memory, this chunin assessment method. B-level mission in your team and come back alive to apply to become a chunin. Chinyu clearly remembered that in the Third Ninja World War, Obito was the tail of the crane, and even Sharingan was not turned on. Can be promoted to chunin, with Kakashi as the captain, to perform special tasks. This is enough to prove how much moisture chunin has. Yugao, you must be careful when you stand behind me. It's not far from the gate. These Anbu's just misunderstood our identities and pretended to be the enemy, as long as I explain it clearly. Moonlight Hayate couldn't bear it. Live explained. A trace of tension appeared on Azuki Yugao's face. This is the first time she has officially set foot on the battlefield after graduating from the Ninja Academy. All along, she just took some small tasks, looking for cats and dogs, guarding Konoha Shinobi Village and other relatively simple tasks. Also take part in some harmless battles to gain some experience. 3 days ago, she was suddenly promoted to chunin. Azuki Yugao knew very well that this was the reason for the emergency on the front lines. This led to the emergency deployment of combat power in the rear of Konoha. Originally, Azuki Yugao was still thinking about how to escape the battlefield. It's a pity to hear that Kumogakure launched a sneak attack, and her father Azuki Kingwu happened to be participating in the battle. In order to urgently send Yellow Flash, Hiraishin Kanai of Namikaze Minato to the battlefield, so I personally invited to fight. As for Moonlight Hayate, because of the strange feeling in his heart, he couldn't help but accept this task. After 3 days of continuous rush, it is not far from the pass. I thought I could reach it smoothly, but I didn't expect to be stopped by Konoha's Anbu at such a critical moment. Senior, I'm Konoha's new chunin, Moonlight Hayate. My father is Moonlight Black Knight, one of the 8 colors of Konoha. This is my family token. Moonlight Hayate quickly moved out the backer. Unlike Azuki Kingwu, Moonlight Hayate's father, Moonlight Black Knight, is one of the 8 colors of Konoha. Handed Konoha-style 3 sun and moon swordsmanship, combined with Kekkei Genkei. On the battlefield, he is a terrifying assassin. Looking at the entire Konoha, the strength is also the outstanding existence in Jonin. According to Moonlight Hayate's calculations, now they just need to figure out their identity and move their father out. These Anbu ninjas are amazed. Will obediently let them go. If they are not careful, I am afraid they will escort them to the stronghold. Chapter 14 The Prodigal Son. Kill them, the Anbu ninja who took the lead suddenly said. Moonlight Hayate's smile froze instantly, even Azuki Yugao standing behind him was no exception. Whoosh! The sound of breaking the air suddenly sounded, and the 2 root ninjas moved instantly. In a flash, he appeared directly in front of Moonlight Hayate. In their eyes, it was an easy task to deal with the 2 huge chunks of water. The violent scene made Moonlight Hayate's expression stiff. Looking at the 2 short knives rapidly expanding in the pupils, there was a fatal mistake on the battlefield. Got lost. The 2 root ninjas who shot, a smile flashed in the depths of their eyes. Half a day ago, they were stationed dozens of miles away, in a secret stronghold belonging to the root. After receiving the order from Yamanaka Kase and Aburame to take the route to kill all the Konoha ninjas, they rushed there. Before arriving at the pass stronghold, I met two rookies. For the task of bullying a rookie, they don't miss the fun. Konoha-style swordsmanship Mikazuki Shadow Dance. The crisp and tender drink sounded, and a pretty figure suddenly flashed out, attacking from behind Moonlight Hayate first. The ninja knife in his hand circulated faint chakra fluctuations. The next moment, instantly turned 1 into 3, and attacked the two Anbu head-on. The violent scene made the two Anbu obviously feel caught off guard. Of course, they have heard of the Konoha-style swordsmanship possessed by Moonlight Dark Knight in Konoha. Facing the illusory attack with a lurking murderous intent right now, I didn't have time to think about it, so I quickly pulled away and retreated, temporarily opening the distance. Seeing this, Azuki Yugao pulled Moonlight Hayate behind him and threw out several shuriken with his backhand. Hayate, you have a chance to escape first. As long as you rush to the pass for help, we will have a chance to be saved. Am I fleeing alone? Moonlight Hayate couldn't help but startled and said, how can I leave you alone? We're going to die together. Azuki Yugao's expression changed slightly, and when he looked at the resolute Moonlight Hayate, he couldn't help but feel a little moved in his heart. It can be said that in this life and death situation, people who can still say such words are considered tribulations. However, this thought just flashed in my mind, and a big hand suddenly protruded from the ground. Hayate, be careful with your feet. Azuki Yugao almost made a sound and jumped up quickly. At this moment, she discovered that the attack of the two Anbu ninjas just now was only a detailed attack. The team leader who took the lead had already found the opportunity to lurk underground and conduct a sneak attack. However, to Azuki Yugao's disappointment, it was Moonlight Hayate who was still standing in the same place as if in shock. Originally, Moonlight Hayate hadn't noticed the existence of the other party, but after Azuki Yugao's reminder, it was already one beat slower. Now he is still dumbfounded, obviously unable to escape. Doden Earth-style decapitation in the earth. Anbu ninja grabbed Moonlight Hayate's ankle. The surrounding ground rolled quickly like running water. Moonlight Hayate woke up suddenly, trying to break free from the attack, but found that he had been dragged into the dirt. The next moment, after the chakra dissipated, only one head bulged out. The violent scene made Azuki Yugao's complexion change drastically. She never imagined that Moonlight Hayate would be captured in a single encounter on the battlefield. There are only 7 people on the other side, and she is only one person. If she wants to save Moonlight Hayate, the only way is to escape to the stronghold for help. Little girl, now is not the time for you to lose your mind. A sneering voice suddenly came. I saw 2 ninjas, with a backhand toss, 2 shuriken, attacked her in a roundabout form. There is also a special rope. If you miss a little, I am afraid it will be tied directly. However, in midair, Azuki Yugao had no way to dodge. Anbu ninjas who are eyeing tigers all around. As long as there is any flaw, I am afraid that it will directly lead to death. Looking at the rapidly approaching rope, Azuki Yugao's face couldn't help but show an inexplicable bitterness. Looking at the pass not far away, while smiling bitterly, a shuriken suddenly shot out in the dark. When the sparks splattered, and the 2 kunai were instantly smashed into the air. The sudden scene changed the expressions of everyone in the field. It's such an exquisite shuriken technique that with just one shuriken, 2 kunai were knocked into the air. Anbu, who was lurking in the soil, lost his voice and exclaimed. Before he could think about it, he hurriedly glanced around and gave orders at the same time. Immediately probe the surrounding enemies, and if you find them, kill them immediately. The awe-inspiring voice spit out, Anbu's captain thought that his subordinates would act in an instant. However, after seeing the panic in their pupils, the nerves suddenly tightened. Are you going to kill me? The joking voice came from behind, and Anbu's captain's expression changed drastically, and he hurriedly performed soil stealth, intending to escape. However, just as he had just drilled into the soil, an awe-inspiring aura of death instantly spread all over his body. I found you. The voice fell, and the fist wrapped in thunder light, like a battle axe, mixed with the sound of wind and thunder, smashed directly to the ground. Boom! It exploded like a thunderstorm. The instant the fist landed on the ground, the solid ground shattered. Cobweb-like cracks quickly spread around. Anbu, who had just dived into the soil, shattered his head like a watermelon. The hot blood splashed down, like bright fireworks, but it gave people a shocking feeling. Escape, let's escape quickly. The remaining 6 Anbu ninjas panicked instantly. In a flash, he was about to walk away. However, during this process, they always paid attention to Qinyu's figure. But with a little movement, that frightening figure disappeared out of thin air. Thunderstorm knife. Qinyu's right hand turned into a hand knife, and at the subsonic speed of the Raiden Thunder-style chakra burst, he instantly appeared in front of the first Anbu ninja who escaped. Without any bells and whistles, his right hand slammed down towards his neck, and blood spattered. Before the panic on his face could dissipate, the huge head was thrown directly into the air. The violent scene shook everyone's nerves. It is a pity that all defenses are pale and powerless in the face of Qinyu, who is like a god of death. 5 flickered, and they just had time to see the blue lightning. It's too late to react. There was only time in my mind, a figure surrounded by lightning, and the huge head was thrown out with blood. After Qinyu stopped, the 6 heads fell to the ground. Like rain hitting a banana, a large amount of hot blood splattered. Azuki's heart, Yugao, just got his footing, and looked at the man in front of him who was bathed in lightning, with a warm smile on his face. Like the young man next door, Qinyu couldn't help but take a half step back. Now it's your turn, Qinyu laughed playfully. You're a pretty girl, why don't you let the uncle have fun? The low voice made Azuki Yugao and Moonlight Hayate look stagnant for a while. They never thought that the person in front of them was not the savior, but a prodigal son. Chapter 15 Running Faster Than a Rabbit. What are you trying to do? Azuki Yugao subconsciously took a half step back. After witnessing Qinyu instantly kill 7 Anbu. Hearing this frivolous remark, she would rather face those Anbu. It's better to be frivolous than to be killed. I won't tell you, you should be very clear. Qinyu smiled playfully and looked at Moonlight Hayate. I'm giving you a chance to live now. Are you willing to let us go? Moonlight Hayate said with a happy face. My dad is Moonlight Dark Knight, as long as you let us go, you will be paid heavily afterwards. Talking, Moonlight Hayate thought about taking Azuki Yugao away. You seem to be mistaken, I mean, only one of you can leave alive. Qinyu said suddenly. Moonlight Hayate and Azuki Yugao couldn't help but stagnate. Doesn't this make them live and die? Don't worry, it's up to you to decide who leaves and who stays. Of course I'll do the murder. Qinyu laughed playfully. If you think you can be stronger than 7 Anbu, come and die. A small voice echoed in the forest, making the atmosphere in the field more inexplicably depressed. Azuki Yugao couldn't help but look at Moonlight Hayate. The sight of her goal made her stunned for a moment. Yugao, wait for me, here is only a few kilometers away from the stronghold. I am faster than you, and I will definitely be able to move to rescue the soldiers. Moonlight Hayate dropped those words, turned around and ran away. The speed was so fast that it completely took out the strength of feeding. After several ups and downs, he plunged into the forest and disappeared. You said, the microcosm will explode if people are in a predicament. Chinyu said with a smile. Azuki Yugao's face turned pale, and he took out a kunai with his backhand and stabbed it directly into his throat. When Chinyu threw out a shuriken with his backhand, instantly knocking the kunai away from Azuki Yugao's hand. Azuki Yugao's expression changed, and he shouted anxiously, "Didn't you say that there are only life and death? I can't do it myself now." "Of course you can," Chinyu said solemnly, "however, I'm just trying to scare you guys. I didn't expect that kid to run faster than a rabbit. Let's go, or Uncle Azuki will worry about you." Abandoning these words, Chinyu turned around and walked towards the stronghold. Azuki Yugao was stunned. She was already thinking of suicide. Where would one expect the result to be like this? Looking at Chinyu's back, and the Moonlight Hayate who fled just now, there was a hint of self-deprecation on his face. "Help, Uncle Azuki, hurry up and save Yugao." Moonlight Hayate was detected by the Dark Sentry before he even set foot on the base. Chinyu's battle just now was also detected by the Perception Ninja. So Azuki Kangwoo and Inufeng had already driven them out. "Hayate, why are you here?" Azuki Kangwoo's expression couldn't help changing. "What were you talking about just now? What happened to her Yugao?" "Uncle Azuki, something is bad." Moonlight Hayate explained anxiously. "Yugao and I were instructed to bring Minato Senpai's Hiraishin kunai to accurately locate the space jump of the predecessor. However, Yugao and I were ambushed by Anbu-gen at a distance of several thousand meters. At a critical moment, a teenager with a thunder arc wrapped around his body shot and killed the person at the root. However, he coveted Yugao's beauty and let one of us leave. I was faster than Yugao, so I came to ask for help." Looking at the anxious and panic-stricken Moonlight Hayate, everyone looked at each other. "You bastard!" Azuki Kangwoo threw it back. Snapped. A crisp slap suddenly sounded. Moonlight Hayate couldn't help but froze, covered his cheeks and said, "Uncle Azuki, you. Why did you hit me? Hurry up and save Yugao, there may be a chance to go now." "Fuck your sister." Azuki Kangwoo almost kicked his foot. "Two live and one, you run away first. If Yugao didn't meet Chinyu this time, and something happened to her, I would definitely destroy you. Even if your father is a moonlit knight, I don't care." In the eyes of Azuki Kangwoo, Moonlight Hayate and Azuki Yugao are also childhood sweethearts. Moreover, Moonlight Dark Knight also instructs Azuki Yugao Konoha Ryu. Still appreciate Moonlight Hayate. If this situation lasts a little longer, perhaps Azuki Kangwoo will let them develop. It's okay now, when faced with a life or death decision, run faster than a rabbit. This made Azuki Kangwoo feel blind. "Uncle Azuki, what did you say? Yugao is still in the hands of that madman." Moonlight Hayate's expression stiffened. "Hi, are you looking for me? When I was just walking, I saw two stunned greens, so I rescued them easily." A familiar voice came floating. Moonlight Hayate, couldn't help but stunned, and hurriedly followed the voice. What caught the eye was the murderous face that didn't blink. Moonlight Hayate didn't even think that Azuki Yugao was walking slowly with a frosty expression on his face. Why are you okay?" Moonlight Hayate looked at Azuki Yugao and couldn't help saying. "You're so funny. You ran faster than a rabbit just now. Now you're asking me if I've treated Yugao like that," Chinyu said with a smile. "I'm still young and don't know what that stuff is." Moonlight Hayate was furious. He could clearly see the wretchedness on Chin Feng's face just now. "Yugao, listen to my explanation." Moonlight Hayate hurried forward. Snapped. A crisp slap sounded suddenly. "There seems to be nothing between us that needs to be explained, Hayate classmate," Azuki Yugao said coldly. "Dad, I'll take over the task." "Well, let's go in and talk about it. Azuki Kangwoo glanced at Moonlight Hayate coldly and said, girl, I will use my eyes to recognize people in the future. Some people won't show their horse's legs until the critical moment. Once they choose the wrong one, they can't go back. Azuki Yugao, who had no nostalgia at all and walked away directly, Moonlight Hayate's expression turned ashen. Your name is Chin Yu, I want to be with you. Moonlight Hayate hurriedly shouted while covering her stinging cheek. Are you going to duel with me? Come over, I just haven't killed enough. Chin Yu laughed playfully. Duel, duel. Chin Yu, you can go ahead, so that we can take a gamble. But your odds are very low. Looking at the situation that was instantly noisy, Moonlight Hayate's face suffocated Yuhi, thinking of the 7 root ninjas who were killed in an instant, completely discouraged. I'm going to hand over the task now. Moonlight Hayate turned and left neatly. Again, the crowd burst into laughter. Chin Yu, have you really learned the Raiden Thunder style chakra pattern? Inu Feng suddenly said. Chapter 16 _ There was an inexplicable silence in the huge ruins, and everyone stared at Chin Yu. No, Chin Yu said nonsense in a serious manner. No, Inu Feng turned over Byakugan and said, you're hiding really deep. I tell you secretly, that guy Azuki is betting with us that if you learn the Raiden Thunder style chakra pattern, he will let Yugao have a blind date with you. You are all 14 or 15 years old, and it's time to start a family and start a business. Chin Yu almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. According to Inu Feng, he was sold just now, and he even helped people with money. Inside the cave, Azuki Yugao gave the Hiraishin Kunwu in his hand to Azuki Kangwoo. Dad, according to the description of the 3rd generation, after bringing Hiraishin Kunwu, as long as you activate the Kuwusheng art, Father, Senior Minato will be able to sense the coordinates and jump in space. Azuki Yugao said urgently. The Kumogakur army is coming. According to the information, the AB group will lead the team in person. In the face of this kind of enemy, only Minato, Senpai can fight against it. Spoke, Azuki Yugao opened the scroll that activated Hiraishin Kunai. Yugao, you don't need it anymore. Azuki Kangwoo stopped him and said with a wry smile, you are already late. Dad, what are you talking about? Didn't we catch up? Azuki Yugao said urgently. This time there are hundreds of people in the Kumogakur army. I in the AB group is still the next successor designated by the 3rd generation of Raikage. Once they attack, there is no way to stop them here. Now the time is pressing, let's activate it quickly. Yugao, I really don't need it anymore. Azuki Kangwoo patted the back of Yugao's hand and said, Chin Yu has already repulsed them. No, it should be said that it was killed. Speaking of which, Rao was Azuki Kangwoo, and a look of awe appeared on his face. Azuki Yugao's expression was stagnant, and he said anxiously, Dad, what happened? You just said that the person who solved Kumogakur was that Chin Yu. His own credit. Yes, this is his credit alone. Azuki Kangwoo mentioned the battle, his voice trembling a little. If you saw it with your own eyes, you would be like me. Dealing with the Kumogakur army alone, with the help of Sky Thunder, cast S-rank Raiden Thunder-style Kirin, killing hundreds of Kumogakur with one blow. Using a powerful pupil technique, summoning a blood Shira, a black flame that cannot be extinguished, and a powerful demonic illusion that instantly suppresses Killer Bee Jinchuriki column force. Azuki Yugao was stunned, it was the first time she saw her father, like a child. So much respect for a young man. However, following Azuki Kangwoo's description, Azuki Yugao's mind couldn't help but come up with a vague picture of that battle. Dad, according to what you said, Chin Yu is hiding so deep, could it be a genius hidden in the Uchiha clan? Azuki Yugao said in a deep voice, I am afraid that with such strength, he can compete for the position of Hokage. By the way, when I left, he also said that the next decisive battle will be fought as a shadow. Azuki Kingwu said excitedly, also called Chinyu a bloody Asura. Azuki Yugao's expression also changed. Of course she had heard of Kumogakure AB combination, the successor of the next Reikage. Now Chinyu has received such a high evaluation and is recognized by the next generation of Reikage. It would be false to say that you are not qualified to be Hokage. By the way, Yugao, I have something I want to discuss with you, Azuki Kingwu said with an embarrassed expression. Azuki Yugao frowned and said, Dad, you said so excitedly just now, you won't do anything to hurt me, right? Cough, Yugao, please don't say that. Dad just thinks Chinyu is good and intends to introduce you to a blind date. Azuki Kingwu coughed dryly. Dad, you actually betrayed me. Azuki Yugao's expression turned ashen. She never thought that when she met Azuki Kingwu, she would make such a decision on the battlefield. This riding horse was sold, and it also helped people with money. Yugao, don't be so excited. You also saw that Kid Hayate, when he was dying, he gave up on you and ran away alone, but Chinyu was different. When Kumogakure attacked, he was still alone. If one person fights against it, who is stronger and who is weaker, as long as he is not blind, he can tell. Azuki Kingwu's face showed anger. As soon as he thought about it, if the person Azuki Yugao met this time was not Chinyu, then she might be waiting for her death. Get out of the way, you guys get out of the way, I want to see Yugao. Moonlight Hayate's voice came from outside the cave. Yugao, I'm going out to send him, don't bother with him anymore. Azuki Kingwu's face sank, and he was about to stand up. Dad, let me go, this is my business. Azuki Yugao stopped him and walked straight out of the cave. Facing the noise of Moonlight Hayate, the people around were obviously attracted. Get out of the way, I want to see Yugao, I have something to tell her. Moonlight Hayate shouted in a hurry. Konoha ninjas who were guarding outside the cave remained indifferent. Moonlight Hayate, don't play around here. Inufeng persuaded in a deep voice. This is an important place, you are a chunin, you can't enter casually without communication, hurry back to the side, don't get in the way other people. Uncle Inufeng, I'm getting in the way, I just want to explain to Yugao, I just wanted to save people and plan to come back to rescue soldiers. Moonlight Hayate hurriedly turned back and looked behind. It was an unexpected figure. You're blocking me, Chinyu stretched his waist and said, it's getting dark, I'm going back to have a good rest, remember to tell me when I'm done eating. Chinyu, don't worry, we will lose your share. The two Konoha ninjas, who were originally indifferent, hurriedly put on a smile. Looking at this scene, Moonlight Hayate couldn't help but be stunned. Uncle Inufeng, didn't you say that this cave is an important place, can't Chunin go in casually? Why can he? Moonlight Hayate said anxiously. As soon as these words came out, the Konoha ninja present instantly became unhappy. Inufeng was no exception. He looked at him coldly and said, Moonlight Hayate, sometimes you have to stop in moderation. If Chinyu is also a chunin, then there is probably no Hokage in this world anymore. Yes, you are a life-hungry person, if it wasn't for the fact that you are also a Konoha ninja, and Moonlight Night is one of the 8 colors of Konoha, we would never let someone like you in. Moonlight Hayate, if I were you, I'd better stay by the side and don't continue to be ashamed here. Moonlight Hayate was stunned. For a long time, due to the patronage of Moonlight and Dark Night, and Kekkei Genkei, he has always been regarded as a genius. Chapter 17 Who is faster? Are you purposely isolating me? Yugao and I are childhood sweethearts, she will listen to my explanation. Moonlight Hayate's face flashed a trace of madness, and said anxiously, let me in, Yugao will definitely forgive me. Moonlight Hayate, you're enough. Azuki Yugao's voice came from inside the cave. Soon 2 figures were seen coming out of it. This time, it has nothing to do with me. Chinyu shrugged helplessly and said, "He was yelling, he wants to explain it to you, you can solve it yourself." Looking at Chinyu, who was the instigator, he turned and left gracefully. Azuki Yugao was stunned at first, and his eyebrows were furrowed. "Chinyu, can you stay for a while?" "I stay." Chinyu glanced at Azuki Kingwu suspiciously. Instantly smelled what was going on. "Yugao, why are you leaving him to go to the grass over there, and I will explain it to you alone." Moonlight Hayate hurriedly reached out to Azuki Yugao to catch him. However, before meeting, Azuki Yugao avoided it. "Moonlight Hayate, please don't act indiscriminately in front of my target, or I will cut off the relationship with you as an ordinary friend," Azuki Yugao said suddenly. As soon as these words came out, everyone present couldn't help but stagnate and looked at Chinyu. Chinyu was instantly helpless. He finally understood what it meant to be shot while lying down. "Yugao, what are you talking about? Who is your object?" Moonlight Hayate was anxious. "It's Uchiha Chinyu. My dad has promised me to date Chinyu, so please don't harass us in the future," Azuki Yugao said coldly. Moonlight Hayate couldn't help but startled and said, "It's impossible, I don't believe you, you said this to anger me. You and Uchiha Chinyu don't know each other at all." Among the younger generation, it has always been instilled that the Uchiha family is the source of the rebellion. In order to avoid suspicion, many people will actively avoid the people of the Uchiha clan. Moonlight Hayate, enough is enough. A trace of disgust appeared on Azuki Yugao's face. The former Moonlight Hayate, in her eyes, is a sensible, talented and responsible genius. "I never thought that this kind of thing would happen when I walked out of the village for the first time. No, I'm not enough, you give me a chance to explain," Moonlight Hayate begged urgently. "Lick the dog." Chinyu rolled his eyes helplessly and said, "If she finishes explaining, won't you stop making trouble?" "Yes, as long as Yugao finishes explaining, I will obediently leave." Moonlight Hayate looked stubborn. "Okay, you've watched." Chinyu wrapped his arms around Azuki Yugao's waist, and his right hand suddenly pulled her into his arms. Without any hesitation, under the stunned eyes of everyone, they directly kissed. It's a light kiss. However, it still made Azuki Yugao's mind roar, and it went blank. What are you doing?" Moonlight Hayate woke up suddenly. This was the first kiss that he had been eyeing for 7 or 8 years, but he couldn't get it. Now that it was stolen by Chinyu in the blink of an eye, how could he accept it? "Isn't this an explanation?" Chinyu spread his hands and said, "Now give up. If nothing happens, I'll go back to rest first." Looking at Chinyu, who had a calm expression after the strong kiss, turned around and left, Moonlight Hayate's expression instantly distorted. Without any hesitation, he took out a kunai from his waist and stabbed Chinyu's back. The closeness of the distance made everyone's faces change dramatically. They never thought that Moonlight Hayate would be so crazy. However, in the face of all this, Chinyu seemed to be unknown. PFF'd. Kobo pierced Chinyu's body in an instant, and immediately a white mist rose up, causing the crazy Moonlight Hayate to be stunned for a moment. "Idiot, I'm behind you." Chinyu's right hand turned into a knife and slashed directly towards Moonlight Hayate's neck. Moonlight Hayate's expression changed dramatically, but in this case, he didn't have time to dodge at all. Can only wait for the attack to fall. Whoosh! A golden flash suddenly appeared. Before everyone could react, an unexpected figure appeared in front of Chinyu. The probe hand buckled on Chinyu's wrist. The sudden appearance of the figure made everyone's pupils shrink suddenly. That golden hair made Chinyu pursed his lips and smiled. "Minato, after hiding for so long, I thought you didn't want to come out." "It's the golden glitter Namikaze Minato, and he's arrived." Only time-space ninjutsu can cross the two major battlefields and arrive here in such a short time. Cut, you might as well say that only Namikaze Minato's speed can stop Chinyu's attack, otherwise, that boy, Moonlight Hayate, will definitely suffer. HMPH, this stinky boy, no one will be able to swallow his anger if he doesn't suffer a little, but it's all for now. Facing Moonlight Hayate's behavior of abandoning his companions on the battlefield, many people were dissatisfied. In particular, the willful behavior just now has attracted the hostility of many people. This is a battlefield, not a place where one's feelings are mixed with children's personal feelings. I actually don't want to show up. After finding out that Kumogakure's attack was repelled by you, I thought about returning to the land of the land. Unfortunately, if I didn't make a move just now, I'm afraid this kid will suffer a bit. Namikaze Minato said with a wry smile. Lord Minato, it's him, he was the one who teased me in the forest just now, that made Yugao misunderstand me, you must call the shots for me. Moonlight Hayate said anxiously. Chinyu shook his head with a smile and said, Minato, you have seen it too. If you want to calm him down, you should suffer a little. Besides, you can't stop me from teaching someone a lesson. Boom. A burst of white mist appeared on Chinyu's body, and the next moment the whole person disappeared out of thin air. Is it the shadow clone technique? Namikaze Minato's expression changed. Before I could think about it, I turned around and looked. At the same time, he swung his right hand back, and the kunai, which depicts Hiraishin's magic mark, was instantly released. Just appeared behind Moonlight Hayate, had a smile on his face, and his body swayed half an inch like a ghost. Hiraishin's kunai almost passed, and the attack fell flat. It's coming, someone exclaimed. Everyone's nerves suddenly tightened, and there was a hint of urgency in their eyes. The art of Hiraishin was seen from Namikaze Minato, and the next moment he disappeared out of thin air. When he reappeared, he was already in the sky above Hiraishin kunai. He reached out and grabbed Chinyu's shoulder directly. I got you. A smile appeared on Namikaze Minato's face. He hadn't met anyone who dared to challenge his speed for a long time. Now Chinyu's actions have undoubtedly made him arouse the mentality of striving to win. Really, Chinyu said with a smile on his face, however, you are too naive. A small voice suddenly spread. The next moment, a crackling thunder arc bloomed on Chinyu's body. Under the raging thunder light, Chinyu, who was about to be caught, disappeared out of thin air. Appeared again, has come to the back of Moonlight Hayate. The knife in his right hand was as fast as a thunderbolt, and slashed straight down the back of his neck. Chapter 18 Only friends, not enemies. Bang. The dull collision sound suddenly sounded. Hand knife fell directly on Moonlight Hayate's neck. Under the attack of tremendous force, he rolled his eyes, passed out of a coma, and fell to the ground. The violent scene left everyone in the field dumbfounded. Looking at the thunder light scattered from Chinyu's body, his face was full of disbelief. If they said that just a moment ago, they speculated on whether Chinyu mastered the Raiden, Thunder-style, chakra mode from the one-sided words of Moonlight Hayate. However, seeing it with my own eyes now has a different meaning. From repelling Kumogakur, it has only been half a day. Chinyu learned the Raiden, Thunder-style, chakra pattern, known as one of the most difficult secret techniques in Kumogakur village. What words can be used to describe this speed? Fear. Evildoer. Indescribable. More importantly, there is no contrast, no harm. Namikaze Minato, known as Yellow Flash, Chinyu could also teach Moonlight Hayate a lesson. It means that it is better than the speed. Hehe, Minato, I'm sorry, no one can stop the person I want to teach, even myself. Chinyu laughed dryly. If it were replaced by the former Uchiha Chinyu, Facing the legendary Konoha, he would definitely bow down like a pug. But now that he has a one-key full-level system, he wants to bend him down. Then wash and sleep. Chinyu's words are serious. You can show mercy. For Moonlight Hayate, it is already the best lesson. Namikaze Minato is a new generation of peaceful ninjas. Moreover, the personal relationship with Uchiha Fugaku is very good, and they are still brothers in private. Long time, he has been very concerned about the problems of the Uchiha family. And Uchiha Fugaku, both hold the mentality of peaceful settlement. Uchiha Fugaku, who has already awakened Mangekyo Sharingan, is not concerned with this relationship with Namikaze Minato. Firmly believes in the concept of Namikaze Minato, and I am afraid that Konoha has already been reversed. It's a pity that the Third Ninja World War is now drawing to a close. A year later, Namikaze Minato died, and a series of events broke out under the manipulation of Danzo and other high-level officials. Of course, Chinyu didn't pay any attention to all of this. With the addition of the system, the world is so big that there is no place to hide. If you really push him, throw 2 or 3 big moves at will, slap the butt and slip away, no one can stop him. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll go back to rest first. It's really hard to lack blue. Chinyu patted Namikaze Minato on the shoulder. Under the stunned eyes of everyone, he walked into the cave. In their eyes, Namikaze Minato is an unattainable existence. It is said that among the Konohas, he is the most qualified to inherit the identity of the next Hokage, and he is treated respectfully on weekdays, even the older generation is no exception. When have I ever seen someone as big-hearted as Chinyu without the slightest bit of reverence? After watching Chinyu leave, Azuki Kingwu stepped forward with a wry smile and said, Master Minato, don't blame Chinyu. This time, he was able to defeat Kumogakure and the AB team. It's all his credit. Besides, he's only in his early 15 or 16 years, so he doesn't know much about etiquette. Namikaze Minato in his early 20s, Chinyu can be called a junior. Moreover, compared with Namikaze Minato's long-standing and prominent status, Chinyu did lack etiquette. Senior Kangwoo, you are calling me my lord again. Namikaze Minato shook his head helplessly. With you guys, I like Chinyu instead. However, according to my understanding, Chinyu was originally a less outstanding junior in the Uchiha clan. When he came out, Fugaku also asked me to help him take care of Chinyu. It seemed that he was hiding. For this remark, everyone in the field was sighed. Thinking of Kirin and Mangekyo Sharingan who fell from the sky, the soles of their feet are still cold. Lord Minato, your status is different now. You have the right to call us old immortals. Azuki Kingwu said with a smile. However, we have something to report. Chinyu may have intentionally not wanted to get involved in the disputes between the Konoha and Uchiha clan, so he deliberately hid it. Following Azuki Kingwu's narration, Namikaze Minato, who was still smiling, turned solemn. Senior Kingwu, do you say that Chinyu has a powerful Raiden, Thunder-style ninjutsu, a special Sharingan, and also has the reverse 10-10 gift for learning ninjutsu? Namikaze Minato couldn't help but asked. Looking at everyone in the field who nodded in unison, Namikaze Minato couldn't hold his breath even more. Senior Kingwu, Moonlight Hayate will be handed over to you first, and I'll go look for Chinyu. Lord Minato, don't worry, but in Kumogakure village, the next Raikage heir, I once said that Chinyu has the qualifications to become the next Hokage. I hope you don't mind. Azuki Kingwu hesitated for a moment and said. This time, Danzo's confidants, Yamanaka Fung and Aburame, took root, not only fled back, but also leaked the information about our base to Kumogakure. If Danzo knew that Chinyu had broken his subordinates' affairs, he would probably target Chinyu. We hope Mr. Minato can help one or two at a critical moment. Quote. In the eyes of Azuki Kingwu and others, external enemies can also be eliminated by powerful means. But in the face of internal struggles, it can be said that it is easy to hide with open guns, and difficult to guard against hidden arrows. Senior Kangwoo, don't worry, I understand what to do. Namikaze Minato nodded and said, wait a moment, I will report the matter here to Lord Hokage of the third generation. 3 generations of Hokage-sama have come forward, and Danzo will also restrain himself. Azuki Kangwoo breathed a sigh of relief. This matter is arranged like this for the time being. The next defense depends on everyone's concerted efforts. Namikaze Minato patted Azuki Kangwoo on the shoulder and said, I'll go talk to Chinyu first. Watching Namikaze Minato leave, Azuki Yugao finally couldn't hold his breath and said, Dad, are you saying that once Chinyu returns to Konoha, I'm afraid he will be hit by the roots? What's the matter? Are you concerned about your little lover so soon? Inu Feng teased. Azuki Yugao glared at him and said, who is his lover? I just don't want Konoha Shinobi Village to lose such a strong man. This kind of person is like a companion, an absolutely powerful backing, but if it is an enemy, it would be too terrifying. Azuki Kangwoo said suddenly. As soon as these words came out, everyone's expressions couldn't help changing. As Azuki Kangwoo said, facing Chinyu's existence. The only thing we can do is to be friends and not enemies. Even if you can't be friends, you can only be passers-by. Chapter 19 Calculating Namikaze Minato. Inside the cave, Chinyu sat cross-legged, recovering the chakra in his body. At the same time, he was thinking about how to solve the problem of lack of blue in a short period of time. After these 2 battles, his chakra was exhausted, and if it wasn't for the strength of his pupils. In the face of the enemy, I am afraid that I will not be able to get up. After thinking about it, Chinyu finally concluded 2 ways. A contract with Mount Myoboku, then learn Sage Mode. By absorbing the power of nature, you can quickly return to blue. The second finds the head-tailed beast as a human Jinchuriki column force. This is the quickest way Chinyu can think of right now. However, Mount Myoboku's psychic contract has always been worn by Jiraiya. Since Orochimaru defected and escaped from Konoha, Jiraiya has also become a dad and has been following Orochimaru. It is difficult to find Jiraiya in a short time. As for finding the head-tailed beast to be the human Jinchuriki column force, looking around the entire ninja world, except for the 3-tailed, the rest of the 8-headed tailed beast are all lodged in the human Jinchuriki column force. During the current war, every shinobi village is very careful about the protection of the human Jinchuriki column force. For a moment, trying to use this method to solve the problem of lack of blue seems to be even more unrealistic than the first one. Thinking of this, Chinyu sighed helplessly. I'm so hard. Chinyu, if you have any problems, you can tell me if you don't mind. Namikaze Minato's voice suddenly came. Seeing Namikaze Minato approaching, Chinyu's eyes lit up. Namikaze Minato's ninjutsu can be said to be a royal family. Start Hiraishin, ultimate move Rasengan, can't beat the ghoul. In addition to these 3 ninjutsu, in Chinyu's impression, Namikaze Minato did not perform many other ninjutsu. However, among the 3 ninjutsu techniques, Chinyu paid more attention to the technique of Hiraishin. Raiden Thunder style chakra mode can greatly increase Chinyu's speed. Just in terms of escaping and killing the enemy, and surprise, I am afraid there is no ninjutsu that can compare to Hiraishin's technique. Chinyu, are you worried that Danzo will be bad for you? Namikaze Minato said tentatively. Chinyu raised his brows, not thinking that Namikaze Minato would automatically make up his mind. Originally, he was thinking about how to use Namikaze Minato to teach him the art of Hiraishin. Now it saves him a lot of words to explain, and he said one by one, this is just a small matter. If Danzo really wants to shoot at me, I will not go back. The world is so big, there will always be a place for me to hide. Namikaze Minato's expression froze. This is what worries him the most. According to the description of Azuki Kingwu and others, Chinyu's strength is enough to reach the level of Jonin. Possibly even more than that. If coupled with the amazing ninjutsu talent. Once Chinyu was allowed to leave Konoha Ninja Village, it would be a huge loss and hidden dangers. Chinyu, don't take things too seriously. Fugaku and I have a good relationship and will never let Danzo target you recklessly. Namikaze Minato hurriedly advised, and I will report this matter to the third generation in advance. Lord Hokage, with his wisdom, will certainly handle this matter fairly. Just feel free to come back to Konoha with me. As for Namikaze Minato, Chinyu has also learned about it in the original work. As the saying goes, good people are short-lived. So Chinyu didn't doubt Namikaze Minato's intentions too much, but his intention was to get Hiraishin. If he was dismissed with just these 3 words, it would be rubbing the IQ of his 2 lifetimes on the ground. I also want to go back, but unfortunately I don't have much means to protect myself. If you are willing to teach me the art of Hiraishin, I may consider 1 or 2. Chinyu said with a smile. Namikaze Minato couldn't help but startle for a moment, then smiled bitterly and said, so you have been thinking about this from the very beginning. It seems that you don't take Danzo to heart at all, but this Hiraishin technique is the forbidden technique developed by the 2nd generation Hokage. Even if I want to teach it to you, I need the consent of the 3rd generation Hokage. Namikaze Minato said helplessly. If you really want to learn, I can teach you the ninjutsu I developed myself. You mean, Rasengan? Chinyu turned over Byakugan helplessly. With Namikaze Minato, such a one-rooted person, it would be more difficult for him to teach Hiraishin privately than to kill him. It seems that there is only other way to think of it. You also know about Rasengan. Namikaze Minato said with a smile on his face. This Rasengan does not require a hand seal. The amount of chakra is generally required, and I have also developed a systematic learning method, which I will demonstrate to you now. Quote. Rasengan. Namikaze Minato said, the fingers of his right hand tense slightly. Under the chakra lingering, blue airwaves are quickly generated, and a blue chakra ball is formed in the blink of an eye. It looked like a blue starry sky. Of course, if people are judged by their appearance, this Rasengan should be underestimated. I'm afraid it will often be the end. In the original book, there is a funny joke. There is no enemy that Rasengan cannot deal with. If there are, one opponent that cannot be solved, use 2. If it still can't be solved, I will make the balls in different ways, and I will always be able to make the finale come out. Did you see clearly? Namikaze Minato scattered the Rasengan in his hand and asked, I will demonstrate the 2nd time now. With your aptitude, as long as you practice well and control the movement of chakra well, you should be able to do it within a week. Learned. Namikaze Minato's face full of enthusiasm, Chinyu couldn't refuse. Moreover, Naruto's futon wind style Rasengan in the original book is really awesome. Compared with Raiden thunder style Kirin's display is also less complicated. Feeling that the chakra in Namikaze Minato was working again, Chinyu's Mangekyo Sharingan was working. In Hokage, Sharingan is a local plug-in, no need for white. Namikaze Minato, who was always paying attention to Chinyu, felt at this moment that his whole person seemed to be seen through. The moment he raised his head, his eyes met, and his pupils could not help shrinking. The chakra condensed in his hand also collapsed. Are you Mangekyo Sharingan? Namikaze Minato couldn't help asking. Chinyu was not surprised when Namikaze Minato made a statement. Mangekyo Sharingan is not the first time in Konoha history. At least all the information of Uchiha Madara will be completely recorded by the 2nd generation Hokage. And Namikaze Minato, as the most promising 4th generation Hokage existence. In order to solve the matter of the Uchiha family, he is especially concerned. Knowing the existence of Mangekyo Sharingan is not surprising. Isn't it strange that an unknown junior would have Mangekyo Sharingan? Chinyu didn't plan to hide it at all. In the face of absolute strength, all intrigues and tricks are idiots. Namikaze Minato took a deep breath and nodded. I finally know why they say you have the talent to learn ninjutsu. Chapter 20 Kurigakure attacks _ Sharingan of the Uchiha family has the ability to copy ninjutsu, although not everyone can do it. Namikaze Minato looked away after taking one more look. However, in Konoha's secret information, the Uchiha clan Mangekyo Sharingan described that once awakened, they will obtain special pupil techniques. If I guessed correctly, the huge Shira ghost, black flames, and powerful ninjutsu are all the eyes that make it. Had already anticipated Namikaze Minato's speculation. From the beginning, he decided to fight off the Kumogakure and AB combo, using Susanoo, Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi, knowing that this matter would not be hidden for long. Nodding one by one, he said, "You're right, you deserve to be the hot choice for the next generation of Hokage." Hearing this, Namikaze Minato smiled bitterly. In Konoha, there are many outstanding people, Fugaku, Shisui, Sanin where the teacher is, and you. I'm just more receptive because I'm on the front lines and have no political background. If you really want to compete with strength, Jiraiya-sensei, Fugaku, Shisui and others are more suitable. Looking at Namikaze Minato with a humble face, Chinyu couldn't help but rolled his eyes and said, "Act when you should, otherwise why would you become so powerful? Hid it so that no one can see it. That's boring. People are selfish. When you become a hero, you have to keep secrets, but I can't do it." Namikaze Minato smiled wryly and said, "I didn't expect Chinyu, your opinion on the matter really makes me stunned. Although I can't teach you the art of Hiraishin, but back in Konoha, I will ask the third generation of Hokage-sama for instructions, and he should agree. Now let me demonstrate the second Rasengan first." Spoke, Namikaze Minato gathered the chakra in his body again. However, before Rasengan took shape, there were hurried footsteps outside the door. "Ms. Minato, the big thing is bad." The secret whistle reported that Kurigakure's whereabouts appeared 3 kilometers away. There are still a lot of people. The leading ninjas are not clear for the time being. Azuki Kingwu hurried in. Seeing the Rasengan scattered from Namikaze Minato's hands, only to realize that the timing seemed a little wrong, and a trace of apology appeared on his face. "Chinyu, I'm sorry, about Rasengan, wait until I come back to demonstrate. You just spent a lot of chakra participating in the war. Now rest at the stronghold. Let me kill those Kurigakure." Namikaze Minato dropped these words. And hurried out. After Azuki Kingwu gave Chinyu an apologetic look, he quickly followed. After the two left, the huge cave returned to calm again. "I didn't expect that even Kurigakure would send people to attack in a roundabout way. It seems that they all wanted to beat the underdogs." Chinyu smiled playfully. "Originally, I planned to find a tailed beast as a chakra cache machine. If I can catch a small leader, I might be able to find out the whereabouts of Sanwei. However, let's try it first, learn Rasengan, and maybe there will be unexpected surprises." Chinyu thought about it, and recalled the scene of Namikaze Minato's second Rasengan being copied by Mangekyo Sharingan. The few chakras left in the body roared and quickly gathered to the right hand. Originally the difficulty of Rasengan, as long as it is systematically practiced, even the tail of a crane like Naruto can learn it. Now Chinyu has used Mangekyo Sharingan to thoroughly analyze the operating structure of Rasengan, and it will be more effective if it operates. Rasengan. The 5 fingers of Chinyu's right hand were slightly tensed, and the blue chakra that was released quickly gathered in the palm of his hand. The next moment, with the sound of high-frequency chakra flowing, Rasengan was instantly condensed. Ding Dang found A-level ninjutsu Rasengan, whether the host is full level with one click. Hearing the system's voice, Chinyu couldn't help but raise his brows. This Rasengan could have been transformed into Ultimate by Namikaze Minato. If you can continue to max level, what will happen next? Full level immediately. Chinyu did not hesitate any longer, and immediately issued an order. Ding dong, congratulations to the host on getting the Big Ball Rasengan. Ding dong, the host's Thunder attribute chakra is detected, and the Raiden Thunder style Rasengan is obtained. The two voices that sounded one after another made Chinyu stunned. Originally, I just planned to imitate the original book, and after learning the ball rolling, I came to a futon wind-style shuriken. Unexpectedly, with the one-click full-level system, Big Ball Rasengan and Raiden Thunder-style Rasengan were also created. As for why no other properties appear, I'm afraid it's the system that can't check that chakra has other attributes, nature transformation, in his body. It seems that I will get a sage body in the future and rub all the balls of nature transformation. Chinyu put away his thoughts. Outside, in the face of the sudden Kurigakure, everyone's nerves were tense. As soon as Namikaze Minato left the cave, after issuing a few strict orders, he led a small group of people to the place where the target appeared. That is the closest place between Konoha and the Land of Water. Pity that Namikaze Minato was sent to the battlefield of the Land of Wind and Land early in the morning, and did not leave the Hiraishin spell in the adjacent area of the Land of Water, otherwise, a space jump would be able to rush to the destination as soon as possible. Namikaze Minato and his party left. There were originally only 26 strongholds, and the strength of the guards dropped sharply to 12 in an instant. This is because of Azuki Yugao and Moonlight Hayate. Dad, do I need to do something? Azuki Yugao couldn't help but say. Now the number of enemies is unknown, I'm worried that they will attack the stronghold in a roundabout way. As soon as these words came out, the diligence in the field became a little dignified. The nerves of those who stayed here were also suddenly tense. However, as soon as this worry crept into his heart, Azuki Kingwu looked back at the cave where Chinyu was, then heaved a sigh of relief, patted Azuki Yugao on the shoulder and said, "Silly girl, don't worry. The base is understaffed, and Lord Minato is not there, but don't forget Chinyu." Having said that, Azuki Kingwu looked at the awakened Moonlight Hayate, and warned in a deep voice, "Hayate, I hope that when you meet Chinyu next time, don't mess around again, he is not an existence that you can compare with." Quote. Moonlight Hayate's face sank, clenched his fists resentfully, and raised his head stubbornly. "Uncle Azuki, don't worry, my intelligence escort mission has been completed. If Chinyu is there, it won't do much for me to stay here. I will leave the stronghold now and return to Konoha to return to my life." Leaving those words, Moonlight Hayate stepped out of the base. However, just after taking 3 or 4 steps, a huge black shadow fell from the sky. Without any bells and whistles, it hit him directly. Boom! Moonlight Hayate was directly crushed to the ground. Feeling the warm and bloody smell on his face, he struggled a little to look up, and the sight made him pale.